5:48, it's Elliot in the morning. Your phone number for everything. 866-2-ELLIOT. 866-235-5468. Hello, class.
Hi.
Hey, how are we today?
Good.
Good.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. You know what I got all wrapped up watching on the overnight news?
What?
Bunch of pissed off, screaming people. As the anthem of the sea
I saw that.
roared back into Bayonne, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Woo! Those people were hot.
So did they plan it to happen, like, overnight?
You know what? I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know what else? I really felt bad. I mean, I feel bad.
They're not
going
to do it, like, when the morning shows are on, because everybody have cameras there.
No, but I'm doing it at night. I don't, but for the media part of it, I guess you don't want anything there, but those people are pissed off.
Well, yeah, you don't blame them.
Getting off a boat, and it's so goddamn cold. It's freezing, and they never made it south.
Thank you for traveling with us. Here's your voucher.
Man, they were hot. And, I mean, there were, like the overnight news, they had their cameras there. Everybody stopped to want to talk to them. I hate this place. They suck. But you know what they were saying? Like, now that people are off the boat and they're talking, they were talking about how, like, the captain came on the blower early on.
Right.
It was like, yeah, you know what? There's some weather in front of us, but you know what? We're going to be fine. We're just going to get around it, and everything will be all right. Everybody in your room. But they were talking about how bad the winds were. They were talking about like 125, 130 mile an hour winds.
There was one guy who said he was up on like the 8th floor.
Right.
And he saw the waves like lapping up at his windows.
I can't even imagine.
Oh my God.
And then there was one dude who was talking about, and it's well, two things. Number one, like when I think of like a cruise, I just think of like adults going on a cruise. There was somebody
God. How about the Disney cruises?
Okay,
that's all kids.
A specific kids cruise line.
Yeah, but people take their kids on cruises.
Well, I don't think of it that way. He said that he was trying to just keep kids from when they're vomiting all over the place. Ugh. They said the rooms, there a lot of splash.
Ew.
But they said the rooms were horrendous. But like, I mean, imagine it's a big, massive building essentially that floats. What is like a 45-degree angle? So that would be like that's 90, right? So it's
go to the middle.
So they said the boat at one point was at a 45-degree angle for 4.5 hours.
So like tilted to one side.
Oh, tilted. Yes, to one side for 4.5 hours. One guy said he turned the shower on just to see what was going on. And the water, instead of like going down, right into the wall. Like just
God.
And they were told you had to go hunker down in your room. Like they couldn't even leave their rooms. They said they were screaming at people. You need to get to your room. You need to get to your room. Please, everybody get to your room. And then they were stuck in their room for, I think they said it was like 12, 14 hours. Oh, man, those people are hot.
And for the most part, you get a dinky room.
Hot. And then but you know the Anthem of the Sea, you know what they said? All the people who work for the Anthem of the Sea, they're very disappointed in how the media has been covering it. All of like the debris and the wreckage and everything that you saw, superficial. That thing's going to be running next week.
Fantastic.
They'll be ready to go. Now, there's going to be some lingering smell.
Have a good time.
Some of the carpeting still may be a little damp. But, they're going to they'll launch the thing next week. They said they'll spend the weekend just kind of cleaning everything up. They'll just some of the, again, it's superficial damage, thank you. We'll just clean that up. We'll put some new glasses in. Everybody's ready to go. Next week, sail again. But it wasn't the boat's problem. It's not like the boat broke down.
No, it's the crew's problem because the captain chose to.
It's the captain's problem, not the crew.
Yeah. In fact, I heard coming in, people defend the crew.
Oh, it's saying that the crew was very helpful.
Yeah.
Well, the crew was also terrified. But yeah, no. The people that are taking all the heat are the captain and like that part of the crew.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the people that just work on the ship. Oh yeah, no, they were saying they were great.
They're in the same situation.
Yeah, no, and same thing. They were told just go hunker down in your room. But I love getting, and obviously it's a big, massive cruise ship, so people were coming from all over to take off out of New Jersey, and then the ship would have gone. The people though that were really pleased to talk to the news, the locals
from Jersey.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, we got all night, all night. All night, where's the camera? And they were screaming at the news. I don't blame them.
Those that were not even on the cruise?
No, like the people from New Jersey who left out of New Jersey.
I thought you meant like people just seeing the cameras.
Oh, just showing up. You know what? I'll talk. No, people like from New Jersey that were like, oh, well, the boat leaves out of right. It'd be like when the boats leave out of Baltimore. People from Baltimore that would be on it. Not like Jones when he goes next week, which I don't, that's ridiculous. Like he's got to fly down to Florida and then he'll disembark from there. But like if you live right around there, then you would just go. So the locals that were on the boat, they were furious. Furious. And everybody looks like ass getting off that. Well, it's the middle of the night.
Yes.
Everybody looks like crap.
I was more surprised. For some reason, you don't think families go on cruises.
I don't.
The NJ.com article leads with an anecdote from someone who was on the cruise by herself.
Like how old? Like an old woman?
I don't remember if it said the age.
I also only assume that anybody that goes on a cruise by themselves is an elderly woman. I don't know why.
God rest his soul.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
We did this every year, and I'm continuing, even though he passed.
The kids sent me. They thought I needed a little getaway. That's
nice thought. Send me with a friend.
No, but you just kind of want to get away.
Recruit a friend to go with you.
But they can't take off. Well, I mean, they're not working anyway.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that do it by themselves, but.
You know, I mean, that's the point I am in my life. If I ever want to go on a cruise, I'm going to have to go by myself or with some friends. None of you are going. Jackie won't go.
Okay, you realize that's not going by yourself.
No, but I mean, I don't know who would go. None of you guys would go.
No.
Jackie's not going.
But I don't know anyone who's been on a cruise by him or herself.
Do I?
And not something, not like a cruise like Shipwrecked, where maybe you're going for the bands or something like that, where there's an attraction.
You're talking about just like going to like the Caribbean or Bermuda.
A generic
or something.
Cruise. Yeah.
You know what? Now you mention that, I know people who go. I mean, I could look in the mirror and tell you people who go on vacation by themselves. I mean, that I have no problem with. Oh, it's fantastic. It's still the greatest thing. You don't have to worry about anybody. I'm definitely not going by myself and taking my kids. That I would never do. I mean, maybe when they're older and can drink. Why would you take a kid on a cruise?
Lots of people do it.
You can't enjoy anything.
Sure you can.
Actually, I feel like one of the criticisms of cruises
is that
too many kids?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would never, I mean, unless it was a Disney cruise, which I would never go on because to me that's all like foot fungus and vomit. But no, I would never like on a regular cruise, I would never take kids.
Yeah.
No, because you can't. What can you do? Everybody in the pool is drunk.
That's like the one time Scott went when he was a teenager.
How old though? Like 13 or like 17? Like 17, you can go run around on your own.
He and his brother were like 13 and 15.
Yeah, 13's a little young for me. I don't know that I would take my kids.
He's like, all you do is like try to talk your way into the casino,
right?
But
there's nothing. And then they all have an art gallery. What a waste of time. But they're not going there. They can't go to the casino. Anything that you want to do, an adult's already in line to do it. So unless they've got like a kid pool and a slide, which by the way, I don't want to spend my whole day there.
Yeah,
I would never.
But then
I would never do that. I'd totally go by myself.
They have like those teen clubs, like let's go dance and mingle with the other hotties.
Two boys that would have zero interest in that. The Seagull Boys.
Yeah, it's like they'll have like loud like
there's a bunch of girls in there dancing.
Loud Skrillex playing, and then they've got like video.
Skrillex is playing. I'm in there.
Video games on the other side for the boys.
I never think of kids being on a. I think of kids being on a kid cruise. I don't think of kids being on a regular cruise. That's for adults.
This is from Bryce, who all week has had some insight into the cruise industry.
Oh yeah, he's been good.
Royal Caribbean is rated the #1 cruise line for families. Lots of kids.
But can you ask Bryce? Are there cruises with Royal Caribbean that are like specified as this is a family cruise? Like the way that like Disney has like you take your kids. Are there certain cruise ships that are geared towards having families? Like that don't have a casino, that don't have and that's the other thing. Like I want to go sit and have like a big dinner. I don't want my kids there for that.
They're going to have dinner with you.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so great. I paid all this money to be on a goddamn cruise, and I'm eating a hot dog and a hamburger. Whoopee-doo. Oh, they'd be like a ball and chain on a cruise. They're a ball and chain all the time. Why do I want them on a cruise? There's no way. I would go by myself, but I don't want to go out by myself as an elderly person. Although, yeah, I kind of do. Then you just walk around and check out all the thongs and asses just running around.
I don't think. I mean, it's a little weird to go by yourself, but
Scott's mom goes on cruises a lot.
Yeah, but she's got like a
but she goes like
group,
the whole
there's
like the elderly women,
20,
like what is it, the Red Hat women or something like that?
That's not her, and she'll say thanks. No, but there's like 20 of them that travel all the time together, and
that would be fun.
They organize several trips a year where they go in like big groups.
Yeah, you know what they don't want? Bunch of kids running around.
No. Yeah, if it's not her grandkids, it's like, whatever.
By the way, she doesn't want her grandkids running around on the boat either.
I bet she would appreciate that as long
Grandma's got to keep.
I mean, if like we were there to corral them, like she's not taking care of them.
To be the babysitter. She doesn't want to be the babysitter.
Yeah.
No, she'll see him for a couple minutes and then she's going to go play like Mahjong or something. I don't know why Scott's mom became a Jew all of a sudden, but you know what I mean. No, I would have zero interest in taking a kid on a cruise.
So far, all I've found is an adults-only pool.
Right, and that's the other thing.
That's like, okay. See, you want like hedonism on a boat. Pretty much.
That would be awesome. That would be great. Could you imagine the ripping and tearing on that?
I'm sure that'll be clean.
By the way, I would take hedonism on a boat before I'd get on a Disney cruise. I don't want that. That's saggy brown diaper. That's all that's on that cruise ship.
As opposed to saggy breasts.
Yeah, no, I just, for whatever reason, I don't, and there was some dude who was talking to the news people, and was saying how he took it was him, I don't know why his wife didn't go, but it was him and his 10-year-old daughter. It was like a daddy-daughter trip. And I was like, dude, how miserable is that? Oh, I can't even imagine. It'd be disgusting.
I mean, daddy-daughter trip's fine, but maybe just not on a cruise.
Daddy-daughter dinner is fine.
That's dinner,
good.
not a
week. I get an hour and a half, and we are good and solid to go. Anyway, listen, we got a lot of stuff that we got to get through today, so let me do this. Give me one quick break. We'll come back. We'll lay everything out for you next. Play in the morning. All right, got a busy one today. Our buddy Christian Finnegan will be in here. A little less than 2 hours from now. Christian will be in here. He's at the Improv. Sold out on Saturday. One show on Sunday is sold out. So you still have some tickets for tonight, tomorrow night, and then the late show on Sunday. But Christian will be in here, like I said, about 2 hours from now. Look forward to seeing him. Also this morning, more tickets for you to go see Modest Mouse and Brand New. Giving you those tickets all week long. Same thing with Walk the Moon and Mr. Wise. I'll have more of those tickets a little bit later on. First time winners coming up in just a little bit. Give you tickets to go see Oh Hello with Nick Kroll and John Mulaney. They were on with us yesterday. I like them. So I will give you tickets for that. A lot of other stories that we got to get into today. Some from yesterday that I didn't get into that I also got to get into here in a little bit. It's going to be busy. Very, very busy. Got to try to stay on time today, Diane. Wish me luck. All right, Diane, let's get into some news, please.
Internal Revenue Service is saying they've been hacked again. It's a malware attack that they said allowed the hackers to access the electronic tax return credentials for about 101,000 Social Security numbers. Though they were
quick to affect me. I didn't file yet.
They were quick to say that it is.
Has anybody filed yet?
No.
You didn't file yet.
No.
Did you?
I mean, you got all your forms and everything already, though.
No, not yet.
W-2s are online.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't updated the. I can't log in there yet, and so eventually I'll get to it.
Yeah, I will say, thank God the company. This is a rare compliment. Sent out a notice about some new tax form we were going to get in the mail. I thought it was a scam,
or like junk mail.
Not junk mail.
Wait,
I thought it was like, you know, when you have a car and you get stuff and it makes it seem like it's
your
from the
warranty's
manufacturer.
almost up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sure.
I thought it was something like that. And no, I went back and I thought, oh, wait, I think we got an email about this random form, and there it was.
You probably threw it away. You need to go in and clear out your 7,000 emails.
Oh, it would take me forever to do. I just had to delete all.
Delete all.
What is the form? Is it important?
It has to do with healthcare.
Oh, then kind of. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I mean, whatever. I got till April 18th.
No, but it's something
care.
you have to submit.
Yeah, well, I'll just go tell Alice I never got it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, you were the
form?
one person that didn't get it.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. The stuff gets lost all the time.
So
and
anyway.
Alice will say, I'm not the person you filed your taxes with.
Right.
Well, I know, but she sent out the form.
Yeah. And you missed the period where you were supposed to ask for a replacement.
Well,
that's what they do on your W-2. They like to say that if you don't submit for a correction within a certain window.
That you missed the window?
Yeah.
Well, then I won't file. It's pretty easy.
And Alice will say, okay, I don't care.
Not my problem.
It looks as though the remaining people in that Oregon Wildlife Refuge standoff are going to be turning themselves in today. There was a whole big drama that was going on, and somebody had been...
Well, Dad got arrested last night in Oregon.
Yes, broadcasting, Ammon Bundy.
Yeah.
Bundy, rather. Somebody had been broadcasting, like, the 911 negotiations that were going on.
Yeah, so the FBI kind of surrounded the compound and started squeezing a little bit. And then there was the whole, the whole back and forth between the law enforcement and the militia guys.
Yep.
And then the next thing you know, the whole thing's right online.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they'll turn themselves in today.
Organizers expect more than 1,000 protesters in Milwaukee this evening to walk off the job, but they're going to be doing that at noon as they'll gather outside the debate between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders tonight. So that's going on. You have to watch it on PBS.
No, I don't get that.
You get that channel.
I don't know what
it's
number
where
it
Jackie
is.
watches Downton Abbey.
Jackie doesn't watch Downton. I know one person that watches Downton Abbey, and he's sitting to my right.
A lot of people watch that show.
Okay, I'm not debating that. I only know one person that talks really highly about my group of friends. But yeah, no, the only person I know that watches that is Tyler. Bernie
Sanders supports a $15 minimum wage. Hillary Clinton advocating for $12 an hour. The current national minimum wage sits at $7.25 per hour. Yesterday, Chris Christie and Carly Fiorina ended their presidential bids. They said that Christie, who came in sixth, announced in his Facebook post that he was leaving without an ounce of regret. Fiorina had finished seventh, so now there are 7 candidates left, down from 17 when it first started.
By the way, I saw a clip of Fiorina yesterday, and I guess this was right after after she got her ass kicked in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And she was like screaming about, here we go, stand with me, we're ready to go, we're going to take our country back. Like the whole thing that she's been doing. 7 hours later, she throws in the towel.
I'm good.
You can't go up there and make that speech and then turn right around. At least Christie was like, whoa, man, I got to go back to New Jersey and catch my breath.
And now that they're going after each other in South Carolina, you've got Ted Cruz and Donald Trump both attacking each other. In their,
was there anything good? He called him a pussy again?
No, he's not going to go that route again.
Yes,
obviously,
he is.
You're talking. What?
Yes, he will. You're right. He won't.
He's not going to say that again.
No, call him a dick or something like that.
What? I don't even think he would go that route.
Diane, he called him a pussy.
He'd retweet
What's
it.
Off limits? Nothing. Nothing.
Remember, he also said Hillary got schlonged.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. So Trump had a rally at Clemson University in South Carolina last night, not only obviously going against Ted Cruz, but he also took in a little shot here at Hillary Clinton.
Who thinks she's going to be able to run because the Democrats are protecting her? And maybe, first of all, she's got to get through this wacky socialist guy, Bernie.
Relatively tame. So he still has, Donald Trump has his rally in Baton Rouge, Louisiana tonight.
That is tonight. Today's Thursday.
Doors at the Baton Rouge River Center open at 5, and then the event is set to start at 7 p.m. Back in Virginia, Kings Dominion now hiring for 1,700 seasonal positions for 2016. That's actually about 100 people more than they originally thought they were going to be looking to hire. Everybody, you've got entry-level people. They need food and beverage. They need interns, actually.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. 1,700 people getting a job is a good thing.
Merchandise people to run the rides, even security. Go to kingsdominion.com/jobs. Put in the application, and then they will contact you for an interview. Grammy Awards coming up this weekend. The producer.
Wait a minute. When are the Grammy Awards?
This weekend.
Sunday?
It's Monday, right?
Oh, Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have come up with a new camera stunt to try to keep people interested in the awards. I guess they have a camera that's built into the base of the Grammy trophy, so you're going to get the trophy's eye view of what's happening on stage. So it's going to be a lot of under chin and boob shots.
So, okay,
Right.
That's fine. So wait, so they're going to have a camera like as it's being handed to Clooney. Well, he wouldn't be getting a Grammy.
I don't think
Let's
he's getting
stick
a
to music,
Grammy.
Elliot.
Yeah.
So it'll go to.
What if Taylor gets one?
Okay, so I'll
Or
see
Adele. Not Adele this year.
No, that's next year.
Yeah.
I'll see the award being handed to her, like as though I'm inside the
Well,
statue.
that's part of the internet stream. I don't know if they'll give you a small.
Oh, well, I'm not watching it that
I don't know
way.
if they'll give you a small screen occasionally. If it's something decent, I
That's
don't know.
kinda cool.
It sounds a little hacky.
I won't
Really?
Yeah, that's not bad. It's something different.
Yeah.
What about the Oscars change? Are you into that?
I don't know what they did.
With the thank yous?
Wait, I have no idea what did they change?
They feel like people watching at home are bored by the laundry list of names.
Well, I get bored by when they start thanking their agent and their PR
that's
and
the
people
list.
from the movie company.
That's what I'm referring to. Yeah,
Right.
you have to submit that ahead of time, and it's going to be on a scroll on the bottom, and then you just have to talk from the heart about the project.
Oh, well, I'm not going to read that. What do I want to read? A big scroll of people's names?
No,
I don't
so-
know.
well, so
Then
the
you
agent-
you can ignore that.
Yeah.
Oh,
They just want the
will.
person to give a speech or an acceptance speech, just kind of talking about whatever the project covered and, thank you, and that's it in general, instead of looking at a sheet of paper and reading names off.
Is Hollywood into it?
Well, you have to submit, and you don't have to abide once you get up there.
By the way, that's kind of a dick move, though.
But
Because aren't there people who are superstitious and be like, well, I don't write an acceptance speech. That's
sure.
But now you have to.
9 out of 10 people get up there and say, "Oh, I don't have anything written down."
Oh, you know what? I would thank the Meoff brothers, Jim and Jack. Oh, I'd be very, very busy.
Director Duncan Jones saluting his dad, the late David Bowie, on Twitter, while also sharing the happy news that he and his wife are expecting a baby.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
He said, made this card for him at Christmas, due in June, Circle of Life, love you, Granddad. The couple married in 2012. Netflix out with a new 4th season trailer for House of Cards. New season debuts on March 4th.
Oh, no. Best trailer that came out yesterday?
What was yesterday? Which one?
The Purge.
Oh, I didn't see.
Oh, yeah. Do yourself a favor.
So this will be the 4th one.
Listen, it's nothing new. We've seen The Purge before a couple times. It's great every time.
Also, Aaron Sorkin is adapting To Kill a Mockingbird for Broadway. Look for it sometime during the 2017-2018 Broadway season. I thought you'd be into that.
I love the
not
book.
that you go to plays.
I've
but-
never seen the movie. I like the book. Book's fantastic.
You've never seen the movie?
No.
The old one?
No. I've never seen the movie. I've just read the book.
I feel like we saw that in school.
I'm a naturalist. No. Well, we didn't. We didn't see it in school.
After reading the book, then that was like a freebie that day in school. We got to see the movie.
I know I read the book in school. If they showed the movie after that, I guarantee you I paid zero attention. I probably slept during that.
No winner in Powerball last night. Saturday goes up to $176 million. And apparently Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson going to do some full frontal nudity on Ballers for this new season. So I guess on Instagram yesterday he posted a picture of some sort of nudity waiver. So it leads you to believe.
You watch Ballers.
If I get a free preview of HBO,
No, but
I'll watch
you watched it last season. Is there a ton of nudity in there?
there was some female nudity. I didn't see any penis.
Season 2.
Come on, Verizon. Hook me up with a summer pass again.
Caps trying to make it 5 wins in a row tonight against the Minnesota Wild after they were off last night. No word yet on whether Mike Richards will be playing tonight. He had to miss practice yesterday, and they'll give a status update on
Maintenance
him
day,
later
maintenance
today.
day.
Dion Phaneuf playing his first game with the Senators last night against the Red Wings. So he did the morning skate with Ottawa before taking the ice last night. Ottawa ended up losing by a score of 3-1. Dennis Wyman's meeting with Gary Bettman and several other NHL officials went for about 6.5 hours yesterday.
God, how miserable is that? Can you imagine 6.5 hours?
League says it's going to be a couple of days before there's a decision.
Oh, that feels like forever.
No, you see what happened was...
I'd love to know what came out of that. I'd love to know all the details of that meeting.
Steelers Hall of Famer Jerome Bettis coming to Richmond to throw out the first pitch on opening night for the Flying Squirrels.
That's pretty cool.
So that's April 14th. They'll be playing Altoona that evening. The Wizards on the road tonight to play the Milwaukee Bucks in their final game before the All-Star break. Also, Monty Williams, the assistant coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
This is a horrible story.
Apparently, he and his wife, Ingrid, both killed in a car accident in Oklahoma City. She was hit head-on by another car that crossed the center line. She ended up being rushed to the hospital but died from her injuries. The driver of the car that crossed the center line pronounced dead.
Yeah, that's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant making his last stop in Cleveland last night. Lakers playing LeBron and the Cavaliers. Cleveland beating Los Angeles 120-111. So now LeBron and Kobe will only face each other one more time when Cleveland heads to LA. That being on March
11th.
The 11th. And Brian Vickers will be driving Tony Stewart's number 14 car in Daytona through Speed Week.
So is he healthy again?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, remember, he's been out of that car. Well, not that car, but he's been out of cars so many times because of the blood clots. And then remember, he was on like all the blood thinners to keep himself from clotting. And the fear was he would be in an accident, but because he was on so many blood thinners, he would never be able to clot. He'd just bleed out in the car. And I mean, and when you think about races where there's likely to be an accident, it's a super speedway.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like really surprised. I know they said that Ty Dillon will also spend some time behind the wheel, but Vickers is running speed weeks in Daytona.
And officials at Monumental Sports announcing that Ted Leonsis is close to bringing an Arena Football League team to D.C. that would play at Verizon Center.
Awesome.
That's a look at news and sports.
And take 6 to Elliot. 866-235-5468. I'm going to grab some first-time winners. Line 6. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Elliot.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
I am doing excellent, thank you. What's your name, dude?
Hey, my name's Tom.
Hey, Tom, what'd you do last night?
I went to see Star Wars IMAX 3D.
Oh, you know what? That's fine. It's been out for a little bit, but did you enjoy?
I did. It's a good story, great animation, computer graphics. I mean, it's a hell of a show.
Good for you. Good for you. By the way, are you a big IMAX guy?
I wouldn't say I'm a big IMAX guy, but I've seen quite a few shows in IMAX. Yeah.
I want you to go see. We had the guys in here yesterday, Greg and Conrad, who I don't know if you how much of the show you heard yesterday, if any of it. But their movie will open in D.C. This weekend, and then it's National Parks Adventure. I mean, it's not like a Star Wars type movie, but it's kind of a tour of different national parks. And Conrad, Greg's the movie maker. Conrad is kind of the guy who does like all the climbing and everything. It's beautiful, and I saw it on just my computer. But when they take you to the national parks like Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, they take you to the Redwoods, they take you to Glacier National Park, the Grand Canyon. It's beautiful. The movie's fantastic. I can't. So I mean, again, I saw it on my computer. I can't even imagine what it looks like on a big IMAX screen. But do yourself a favor and take that in.
That sounds awesome, man.
Hey,
Thank you.
By the way, can I tell you the other thing that I got obsessed with all day yesterday, from when they were in here? Conrad, the guy who does all the climbing, and we mentioned it when he was in here because it comes out in the movie. But if you'll remember, Conrad is. Do we know how old he is? Is he in his... Hey, hold on one second, Tom. Hold on one second. How old is Conrad? 40s? Late 30s? Early 40s?
Oh, he's definitely in his 40s.
Okay, so let's just go with 40s. Somewhere... I mean, he's definitely in his 40s.
Right.
So he was climbing a mountain with his best friend, who's also he's 53? You know what? He's in great shape.
Clean living.
He looks good. Maybe it's those Vogue tabs.
That's what it is,
He gave me the, you know what, there are a lot of people in the climbing community, we use these all the time.
Yeah.
These Vogue tabs, just kind of for a little energy boost. I'm afraid to take one. I haven't taken it yet.
Oh, I thought you were going to take it yesterday.
I got really nervous. Every time I went to take it, because he said it's like a bolt of energy like you've never seen. It's caffeine. Straight caffeine.
Maybe you should take it
good.
when you
like citrus, though.
back off on the caffeine for a day and then take it.
I'm afraid to take it. I'm afraid.
I'm afraid with your usual consumption.
Conrad's climbed Everest 3 times. He's climbed all these mountains and stuff. This is what they live on.
I think his makeup's a little bit different.
He's
than
in
yours.
a little better shape than I am.
Yeah.
A little better shape. Anyway, so Conrad is climbing a mountain with his buddy, right? And the buddy and an avalanche hits. And the buddy dies, right?
Yes.
And so, like I said, we talked about this yesterday. The buddy dies. Conrad, it's his best friend, so he knows the guy's family. The guy who dies leaves behind a wife and a son. Mm-hmm. Conrad, they get back from the excursion. The friend is dead, unfortunately, and Conrad then ends up. I don't know what the timeline is, but he ends up dating and marrying his best friend's wife, widow. And they get married, and he adopts his best friend's kid. Mm-hmm. So his current family is his best friend's wife and his best friend's kid.
Right.
Which is awesome. And he said it works for them, and it's their story and everything. I got so obsessed with that yesterday. Because now I'm going through a list of my friends, trying to figure out if I would marry any of their wives.
I didn't go that route.
And in your case, it would be any of your friends' husbands.
Right.
You didn't go that route. How do you not go that route?
I just didn't start thinking of that.
First of all, how common is that? It's very rare. It's got to be rare.
It's strange to hear you say something is not very common.
Okay.
Usually stuff happens all the time.
And it's 8 out of 10.
No, but if you told me it was like their best friend got divorced,
yeah,
that's one thing. You're talking about a widow.
Mm-hmm.
Although, you know what? Even the divorce thing seems like it would be a little bit weird. Because wouldn't you lose your buddy as a friend? Like, for example, Jackie and I get divorced, right? You marry Jackie. Well, you and I aren't going to be friends after that. Or maybe we are.
What's happened to my wife?
She's not in the picture.
Oh, okay.
She's not. You're single. Well, maybe you left her to marry my wife.
Yeah. Wow. Then it's really messy.
Tyler and I did have that conversation yesterday afternoon.
I don't know. Are they still in town?
I'm going through that same thought in my head. Tyler and I did have that conversation yesterday
was it
after
me
the
or
show.
It might have been Diane.
About my wife?
No. What was Conrad's marital situation when his buddy's wife died? Like, did he leave a wife to go marry the buddy's wife?
Or was he divorced?
Would that be... Or how about just never marry?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he could have just been a single guy. I don't remember how didn't he say that the kid was young, like 8. Well, he's old enough to remember, but it's his son now, his stepson. Well, he adopted him. It's his real son, not his biological son. Whatever, you know what I mean. Could you do that though?
The couple who wed in 2001 have been protective of their private lives ever since.
Oh, whoops.
Except when nosy Elliot.
He talked about it yesterday.
I know.
Although he seemed like more interested in talking about climbing.
Pretty much.
Both of them, Greg,
right?
His production company is McGillivray Freeman.
Right.
So Freeman was his partner in that production company.
Correct.
A couple years after they founded that production company.
Oh, no.
The partner died.
Are you serious?
But it's been 30, 40 years. He keeps the name in tribute to the partner.
Nice.
He's a better man than I am.
It was a helicopter accident.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
So I hope you didn't touch either one of them yesterday.
What, jinx?
I hugged both of them. Ooh, boy. Oh, well.
So, which one of your buddies' wives are you marrying?
Well, you know what? I don't know if I'm comfortable with that part of the conversation.
Okay.
I did come up with. See, but now it's like my best friends. Like Well, see, that sounds horrible to say. Like, I'm not marrying Sam's wife.
Oh, you're too good for her?
No. But, like, I wouldn't marry Sam's wife. That sounds horrible. But I love Jody. Jody's great. Well, I don't love her enough to marry her.
Pat.
No, but...
You're a good kid.
No, does that sound bad? I did think of two that I would marry.
It can be taken... Well, you also... There's 2 people in this decision, so it's not...
What do you mean?
What if you would say you would marry them, but not to say that they would marry you?
No question. They would...
There's no question that they would marry you?
In a second. If they were single, they're both married right now, but if their husbands died, they would marry me. That's my best friend's parents' story. Wait, is that Shannon? Zach Shannon? That's my best friend's parents' story. Her stepmom was her mom's best friend. Holy crap. How'd they die?
Shouldn't say.
Shannon, call me! Please. So wait, her best friend's mom died.
Well, no, we don't know that.
Yeah, no, I don't know that. Yeah, I guess I don't know that.
They could have just broken up.
Yeah, she has the second part of the story matching up with
right. But we don't know how the first one evacuated.
Well, didn't Tyler mention yesterday like there were all those like firefighter and EMT wives?
See, that's different though. That's different.
From 9/11?
Because they don't know each other previously?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, no, you do hear that where like somebody, a firefighter, a police officer, like somebody in law enforcement where there's, a husband dies or a wife dies or whatever, and that they don't swoop in, but they have this bond.
Isn't that the Nightingale effect?
Isn't that
It's
what
a
called?
real thing, yeah.
Yeah, is it Florence Nightingale? Yeah. So, yeah, but that's completely different. I didn't meet you at the moment of vulnerability. I've known you forever.
Right.
Well, for years. You were the wife of my buddy.
Mm.
And now he dropped dead, and now I'm humping you.
We don't know necessarily how
If Conrad
close
was married?
how close they were.
They were best friends.
Yes, they were best friends, but they were best friends in an expedition sense.
Okay, but you're...
Well, you don't bring along the old ball and chain to the...
No, that's the last thing you want. That's the last... It's
the
cold
mountains.
in the tent.
I'm already climbing.
No, but they know each other.
Well,
Yeah,
like
but
a dinner a couple times a year.
Think of your best friends. You know their wives.
Well, well, especially the ones that I went to college with, but the ones that have met their wives outside of college, I don't know them very well. I know of them and have been around them, but I wouldn't say that we're like
Yeah, okay, you may not be close.
super close.
But you're close enough that you know them. Or you're certainly familiar with them.
But for me, for those people, if I were to
Would you
forge
date
some
them?
sort of relationship, it would be very new. I wouldn't feel like I
But you know that
I was
you're
aware of
still
the nuances
climbing on
of that
your
person.
buddy's wife.
Yes, I understand that. Oh,
That's
God,
the...
I
What?
hope they
What's
left
wrong?
town.
No, Conrad would be fine with that.
Hump and climbing on?
The...
Outside of the mountain,
I
those
said
terms need
you.
to stay in the bedroom.
I said you.
Oh, that was for me.
Yeah, I don't know if Conrad and his new wife have had sex.
Pretty sure hump you used for him. You know, they've been protective of their private lives ever since.
Well, then you know what? They shouldn't have kind of mentioned it in the movie.
Remember when they loved the interview?
Right.
They've had a change of heart.
No, why? Why would you have a change of heart? That's real life, man.
I don't know. You're a
And
little prying.
I'm not prying. He's not sitting in here. I'm not quizzing
No,
him
but
on
okay,
it.
but he's not here to answer any questions.
I wish he
So you're
was.
just coming up with all these possible scenarios
I
about
do
how it
want to
went
know
down.
if he would even if we don't know if he was married.
Oh, God.
I
When
don't
you
even
brought
know if
this
he
up
was
yesterday,
dating.
he was like, "Here, have you ever had a Vogue tab?"
that was him.
Change the
That was him
subject.
trying to change the
Hey,
subject.
take these with this comes the understanding ixnay on
God,
my
this
private life.
Guy
eh?
won't shut up. What can I do to distract him?
Here's a Vogue tab.
I'm going to jack him up on these Vogue tabs.
You know what? It's very big in the climbing community.
Right,
Me,
when his heart's about to pound out of his chest, he'll stop
Sean-
talking about me.
Sean Birch uses them all the time. Yeah. No. And by the way, all these guys know each other. They all know. I asked
Yeah,
him-
it's a small group of people.
Yeah.
Did you? I heard you asking him about Chris Warner. Did he know Chris?
Oh yeah, Chris is out in Golden, Colorado. He's doing just fine. Everything's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a small group of people.
I did tell him that Chris Warner took one of our T-shirts onto the point of Everest and took a picture in it, thinking he would go like, "Oh, give me a shirt, I'll take it up on it." No, nothing. He did give
Nope.
me some Vogue tabs though.
Yeah, I gave you those tablets. That's enough.
And shut your mouth about my private life if you don't mind.
Right.
Where am I going? Line 7. Hi, Elliot. In the morning.
Hi, Elliot. It's Shannon.
Shannon, hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sick right now.
Oh, it sounds like you're a little stuffed up. You need a vigorous like chest massage or something.
What?
No, to break everything up in your chest. Anyway, wait. What is your story, Shannon?
My best friend's parents, her mom and dad divorced, and then she was dating someone else, but she unfortunately passed away.
Wait, hold on. Your best friend's parents get divorced. Mom was dating somebody and passed away?
Yeah, she was dating someone else, and she passed away. And then her best friend divorced her husband, and then ended up getting together with her dad.
Was the divorce intentionally to get together with dad, or did that just happen afterwards?
That just happened afterwards.
Wow. Is that weird?
I think it was weird at first for her, but this all happened when she was really young, and so, and I mean, the woman has been in her life her entire life.
That would be weird. I also feel like if I were... So now I'm not the adult. If I was the kid in the situation, I feel like there would be a decent amount of lashing out on my part.
Definitely not. She was they were really strict on her in high school. Now, not so much. But the weird thing is that she was married to an Asian man. So there's like 3 Asian children and then just a bunch of white people.
Well, I mean, that's okay. I mean, I don't have a big issue with that.
It just doesn't make
Actually, I don't
sense.
have really any issue with that.
It's a minor issue. It's not big. I don't want to label it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That whatever, blend. Yeah, that's all right. That's all
No,
right.
just let's adopt it.
Okay, that's fine too. Yeah, no, I get you there. All right, I want you to feel better.
Thanks. I want to let you know that my friends also were listening on Monday and thought you were talking about me and anal beads, not Mardi Gras beads.
No, Shannon, please.
Hey, they made the inference.
I'm telling you what they said.
All right, no, that's not true. I don't like that people just make these things up about you.
I don't either, but they are also my friends. So.
Exactly. All right, Shannon, feel better. I love you.
Love you too.
All right, talk to you later. Line 4. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi, is this me?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
Hey, morning, this is Charlie.
Hey, what's up, Charlie?
Not a whole lot. So, my hopefully soon-to-be ex-wife, Allison Beck, her parents got married, and the maid of honor at her wedding, which was her best friend, eventually married her mom's husband. So the husband divorced the wife, left to Florida, and got married to the maid of honor. So now her stepmom is her mom's ex-best friend.
Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty good.
How long was the marriage?
This was, I don't know how long they were married. It wasn't long. I think she was like 5 or so. But best believe there's a bloodbath before he left to Florida.
Best believe.
There was one hell of a fight.
Hey, let me ask you this. Would you, do you have any friends where you would marry their wives?
No, but you know what? A lot of them slept with my wife, and 3 of them getting divorced. Oh, shout out to anyone listening. It's Charlie. I could give 2 F's less.
Wait a minute. So a bunch of your friends slept with your wife?
Oh yeah, a lot of my friends slept with my wife while I was at work. She hasn't had a job in like 4 years. Stayed home.
But wait a minute.
She had it made, dude. All she had to do was stay home, do her thing, be faithful, and no, that didn't happen.
But now wait a minute. Tell me, you're pissed at your friends?
Oh no, they're not my friends anymore.
Oh, okay.
F that.
All right,
Come
I
on
gotcha.
now.
Hey, just out of curiosity, how many of them slept with Allison?
She's
Okay, all right,
violent.
hold tight.
No names, bro. Putting everybody's names out there.
All right, now that you've had some time, any of your girlfriend's husbands that you would marry? And I don't mean you're leaving Scott. You're single. Well, let me back up. Would you leave Scott for any of the husbands?
No.
Yeah, I can't. I don't see myself leaving Jackie for any of her for any of the friends, my friends' wives. But if I was single, I can think of 2 that I would swoop in on.
Who is it?
No, that's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable. I told you
It's already uncomfortable that you said that.
No, not at all. No, it's not Sam's wife. That sounds horrible, though.
Yeah,
When you say that you
it's
wouldn't
an
try
insult.
to marry somebody's wife, doesn't that make it sound like you don't think enough of them? Because I don't mean it that way.
Maybe you think a lot about them and imagine that person being your wife.
No, because I do. I love Jody to death, but I would never marry her. That sounds horrible to say.
Yep.
I'm definitely not marrying Kevin's wife, Julie. I wouldn't marry Lander's wife.
I mean, you're knocking right through them. No.
Not marrying Kingston's wife. Although I love her also. She's awesome. I've seen her breast.
Hey, I've seen it.
And not in a breastfeeding way, thank you. Where
How
am I
did you
going,
see
Kevin?
it?
That's none of your business, Diane.
Closet.
Hi.
Through the little wood slats.
Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi, I actually have a story that's similar to Conrad's. This girl I grew up with.
Wait, can I hit pause for a second on you? Can I hit pause? Tyler, why are you shaking your head? Because you know there's going to be a death in this story? That's okay. That's a part of life.
I know.
It's actually the end of it. Anyway, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll just call the guy Mike, and him and his wife, they had 2 beautiful kids, and they went to the Caribbean, and she got in a scooter accident, and she passed away.
Wait, I just need to did you say scooter or scuba?
Scooter.
Scooter, okay.
Yeah, the little mopeds go maybe, 20, 30 miles an hour.
Right.
And so she ended up passing away, and he ended up marrying his best friend, who was a single mom of one, and they both adopted each other's kids. They don't plan on having any more kids, but he ended up marrying one of her best friends. And
Really?
so,
Wait, are you the best friend?
No.
Oh, so you just know them?
Yes.
Did the best friend know Mike's wife?
Yes.
No S.
Yes.
Was the best friend married at the time?
No, she's never been married. She's always been a single mom. So
how quick did Mike marry her?
Oh, years.
Oh, really?
Oh.
How quick before he was dating her?
It was at least over a year.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Because I feel like also you'd move in quick.
No, I mean he's so kind of scorned over it that they won't even have children together. So
Well, they do. They have each other's kids.
yes.
Right. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. All right, very good. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks. Bye.
Later. What? That's a beautiful love story.
Okay.
I mean, there's one little hurdle that you had to get over there in the middle, but that's nice. No, isn't that nice? When you want to be able to, I mean, think of what you have in common. You have your buddy in common.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing to remember. Like, obviously, with the story that catapulted this discussion,
Right.
the best friend was lost too.
Exactly. He lost his best
So
friend.
that like best friend. So it was a significant loss for him as well. So
Right.
that's why
So they have in
it's
common.
different than
Right.
the Nightingale effect.
Right.
Because that person has no previous relationship with the family.
Yeah, no, he lost his buddy. She
It was
lost
like his
her
work
husband.
spouse.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like I'm making light of it, but
It'd be
I'm
like
being
Lindsay
serious.
and I getting together.
Yeah, it would be. Except I don't plan to go in some sort of horrific natural avalanche way.
All you got to do is get on a scooter. And then the next thing you know. All right, Kaylee, let's do some follow. Oh, do you have any no friends' husbands that you're marrying? Oh, I do want to ask you about one though, but I don't feel like I should. But you know who I'm talking about. All right, follow-up phone calls, please. Wait. Okay, you could go to hell, Kenneth. 866-2-ELLIOT, 866-235-5468. Any good stories from yesterday, last night, anything at all that you want to get into, it doesn't matter to me. 866-2-ELLIOT, 866-235-5468.
Elliot in the morning.
Don't forget, coming up in a little bit, I will give you tickets to go see Modest Mouse in concert with Brand New. So we'll give you those tickets. Our buddy Christian Finnegan will be here just about an hour from now. We'll talk to him. He's at the Improv this weekend. Don't forget, you can keep up with everything. Facebook.com/EITM online. So you can keep up with everything there. Two videos from yesterday. Did you see the guy who passed out, the Air Force general who passed out during a press briefing?
No.
So it was him and another woman who were at the podium. I don't know what the briefing was. Just a regular press conference, whatever.
Is it for the F-35?
It may have been. Like I said, I don't really know what it was. So they were at the Pentagon, and so there's a woman and the general standing. His name is James Martin. So they're standing there at the podium doing their briefing, and he goes right down.
Does he? Can you see it when it's starting to
she catches him
leading up to it? Can you tell he's kind of losing it, or
you know what? A little bit.
No.
A little bit where you see him just kind of wobble for a second, but like you don't see him start like.
It would have
like
if I was there
spiraling.
live. And the best part about this is this happened 2 days ago, but it was on C-SPAN, so no one saw it.
Right.
But it went around yesterday. If you're sitting there, it's scary because there's not a sign that he's woozy. I think that when his head goes straight into the podium,
Right.
You would think he died.
Although I give that woman credit. She catches him.
Well, she also is laughing, so she's clearly very uncomfortable. She's you.
Yeah. Oh, you always laugh when you're uncomfortable. That's just what happens. By the way, she never broke stride.
Well, she at one point made kind of like a little shruggy face, like,
and they kept going. But she kept going with the with the press conference. And he's fine. They walked him out of there. Once he kind of popped back in and came to. But yeah, no, they walked him out of there. So I saw that, and then the other one. Did you watch the woman who was weightlifting?
No.
So there's a woman who.
Wait, what does she do? I watched a couple weightlifting videos yesterday.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't dislocate anything. Her arms don't snap out of socket. It's none of that. So she's lifting some weights. I don't know what the hell, but she has to get this big thing of weights up, and like she doesn't have to lift it over her head. Like again. Knees don't go, arms don't go, like nothing goes. But she's straining to get these weights up, and you could see her like, and then all of a sudden, the puke machine starts.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it.
And it's hysterical. How did you not watch that?
Because I don't want to see somebody throw up.
I've never seen somebody throw up from lifting a weight.
Read the description. It's like, I don't need to see that.
I've never seen somebody throw up from lifting weights.
And they said it was like projectile.
Hot female powerlifter pushes so hard she has a very embarrassing accident.
That could be, although I don't remember her being overly hot. Let me take a look-see. She got a
look at her hair.
She
doesn't look like that in the leotard.
No, when she's lifting the weight, she doesn't look like that at all, but she looks beautiful in that picture. Yeah, I don't know. Well, once we get by the ad, I'll be able to tell. But what if not? Now I got to know what embarrassing thing happened to this lovely young lady.
Was it from the Raw Unity Powerlifting Championship?
It's definitely powerlifting. It's definitely powerlifting. I know that. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Oh, she's hot. Oh, she's hyping herself up. Grab it. Here we go. Lift, and whoop.
Oh my God. It's a rough video to watch when your stomach hurts, and mine does.
I don't feel like it's that bad to watch.
Yeah, but I'm starting at a deficit because I have a stomach ache.
Yeah, but that would make you feel so much better.
It would, honestly. Not watching the video, but the act. Yes.
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
She's straightened and it just comes flying at her.
Now, this is a bit. This is Will Ferrell on a spinning platform singing Christmas carols. That's not real. Where's the hose in her sleeve?
Isn't that great, though? Watch it one more time. Watch it one more time. And then she puts it down and she's good to go. Here we go. Here we go. Up. There we go.
Oh, my God.
That's a good video.
And you get 3 of them. You get the first big blast, like where it like comes out, and then you get like the second kind of, and then the third just, and the third one almost is just like a little dribbler. But that's pretty good. By the way, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
Well, when she's all done up, right?
You can't tell in the you can't tell just in the video. In the video, all you can tell is that she's vomiting. And boy, does she spray. Line 1. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hey, Elliot. Hey, have you seen the one with the girl that when she's straining like that with the really big weight and then she lets it go, she actually pees all over the stage?
Oh, that I've seen. Yeah, that I've seen. But like that I feel like would be like common because you're not common, but more common than throwing up. You're straining your stomach to try to get those up. And so when you're pushing like that, I could see where everything is just kind of like hammering the body, where you would either do that. That's why people get hemorrhoids from lifting something heavy, because you have all that strain on the body. I'm not expecting it to come up. I've never seen that before. But yeah, no, I've seen people pee. Occasionally you'll prairie dog. You'll hemorrhoid.
There it is.
The peeing one kind of turned me on.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, there that is.
You're not allowed to say.
That was the other thing, as long as we're discussing inner thoughts we had during the Conrad and Greg interview from yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
The other one was prairie dogging.
Okay. I thought I behaved myself.
Well, you didn't say it out loud. You kept it in.
Oh,
but when the mics went off...
Yeah, you like
second they walked out of the room, I did.
You like to pantomime it.
You said
Greg was
that...
like,
yeah.
Oh, I've never seen a prairie dog. And I go, watch me. Do you think... Oh, here we go, Diane. Big screen.
I don't like seeing people throw up. Oh, my God.
But you know what? It doesn't look like... Good for her. She still gets those weights up. But you know what? It doesn't even look like she's, like, there's no heave to it. There's no heave.
Well, your body is so dedicated to the lift.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, there's no, like...
Do you even lift, bro?
But, like, everybody in my family's throwing up right now. Like, Jackie was sick. Jackie sent me a note that at 3:30, the demons came out of both ends. Oh. No, the whole house. When I was leaving this morning, she was miserable. She felt horrible. And then the younger one was threw up a couple of days ago. He was really sick. Now the older one was throwing up last night. Like, the whole house is sick. But when they start throwing up, like, you can hear it. Not her. There's no heave to it. It's just, and out it comes.
The staff or her spotters, they're pretty professional. They don't really like start laughing or anything.
No, it's part of powerlifting.
If
you powerlift, does that happen to you? Like, has every powerlifter puked?
Or peed. I hear you can pee.
That'll happen, but that's common. That's more common.
Happens all the time.
Probably 8 out of 10.
And that guy found it hot.
Okay. That was
You're
Joey.
not allowed to say.
But look at the... Frozen.
Well, hold on. I got to watch the video, the ad. Wait, who am I watching? Oh, the spotter? Hold on, Diane. I'm going big screen. Well, now I'm crashing.
Yeah.
Where am I going? Line 3? Hi, Elliot. Good morning.
Hey, this me?
Yeah, hi. Who's this?
Hey, this is Dan.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Hey, so I'm actually a competitive powerlifter.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's more common than you think, but it's not that common for someone to puke.
Have you ever puked while getting a weight up?
I'm sorry?
While I'm probably not using the right terminology. But like when in power, have you ever not made yourself, but have you ever been lifting and puked?
Myself, no, but I've come very, very close. I've come very lightheaded because basically when you're doing a deadlift like the woman is doing,
right,
you take in a lot of air in your stomach and you really brace your core. And so you have so much pressure on your body to make sure you don't snap your back.
Right.
When you're lifting it up and the weight is just pulling you down and you're trying to pull it up, something just goes awry and, the pressure's released. And with the pressure releasing, out comes everything else.
And you know what? I don't know if it's part of the training, but good for her because she keeps lifting the weights. Like it doesn't even look like it phases her.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if the video that you saw shows it, but at the end there are 3 white lights that are shown, which means it's a successful lift. So all 3 judges who are judging her still qualify that as a good lift.
Oh, you know what?
That's
I didn't pay attention. Hold on, I'm going to watch it right now. Here we go. Here the weights come up. There's the puke, and. Hold on, I'm looking to see if I see any white lights. Yep, there's the 3 white lights. Absolutely. Good lift.
Nice one.
Good lift. If I could get a rag, that would be good. But yeah, no, she gets the 3 white lights. Very good. All right, dude, I appreciate the info. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care.
You got it, dude. Yes, Tyler.
Did you see one of the spotters or staff members, whatever, in the back, the one who looks like the kid who opened up for Kreischer last week, he does put his hand to his mouth like, I'm going to go to.
Oh, he's going to chain vomit. He's going to let it loose. By the way, the other girl that was really hot yesterday, who was getting a little bit of an internet run, the woman who carved the J.J. Watt statue with a chainsaw.
I didn't see her.
Oh, she's cute. She's cute. She's from somewhere in Houston, just outside of Houston. I think LaPorte.
Has J.J. responded?
I have not seen, but isn't that impressive though? Look at the picture.
What's her story?
She does woodworking.
Is she a fan, obviously, or was it commissioned?
Oh, no. She did it on her own. She loves J.J. Watt.
A former art teacher who turned her love of chainsaws and wood into a business.
Yeah.
So she usually does totem poles.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool. That's very cool,
But then one of
actually.
her friends was like, hey, I want a statue of J.J. Watt.
Right. And by the way, the statue's fantastic.
Oh, it was commissioned.
Oh, for a friend. It wasn't commissioned by the Texans.
Well, no, but I meant for anybody.
As a gift. Yeah, no, she did that for a friend. But the statue, by the way, is unbelievable.
J.J. Watt said, there are some talented people in this world. That's crazy.
But she also, very, very good-looking woman. Very, very good-looking woman. And then, 2 other things. Real quick. I don't care about everybody's talking about the freak of nature in Idaho where the snow was really bad and it made snowballs, but it looks like hay bales. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why everybody's all flipping out over that.
What are you talking
I don't
about?
understand.
There was like some bad snows. Hold on. There was a bad.
You had
I didn't
you
wanna
had
put
to
it back
take
in the
that
bag.
handful of Fritos.
Well, I don't want to
Jesus.
put it back in the bag.
You're going to puke like that girl.
The
When you're doing your deadlift.
Look for the lights.
Oh, you know what? That was a successfully. No. So I guess in Idaho they got a bad snowstorm, and they call them. The headline says that it's spontaneous snowballs, but I think they're referred to as snow rollers.
Never heard of that.
And they said it's very, very rare that you see it, but. So the snow is falling, but I guess there's a certain way that the wind blows where it makes, and it happens naturally, but it almost looks like you know how sometimes like if you drive by like some country house or a farm or something where you'll see like those big bale like rolls of hay that are out in the
field.
Yeah, like or the pasture. That's what it looks like, but it's snow. But they made such a big deal about it. And I was like, who gives a crap? Like, I don't get why it's so... Yeah, see, there it is. Those are all natural. Like, the wind does that.
I mean, I've never seen that before.
I've never seen it either. But if you're going to tell me that spontaneous snowballs were made, I want to see, like, big snow falling like a snowball. I don't understand what that is. But that's what I mean. I don't know why everybody was going nuts. I wasn't even going to bring it up. What I was going to mention is we had mentioned... the guy that was surfing on that 40-foot wave, that big, massive wave, I didn't realize that was part of some big-ass competition going on in Hawaii. They had to cancel the event.
Because of the size of the waves?
After that day, no waves.
Oh.
All the waves were too small to
They
be
ran
able to
out.
have the event. So they ended up having to cancel the whole thing. So you had that one day where the dude fell off the 40-foot wave, and then after that, and I want to say that for the last, there's some crazy number where they have this this tournament. Let's see. The spokesman for Hawaii's big wave surf competition called it off because the waves are too small. The competition was last held 6 years ago. They haven't been able to have the competition in 6 years because
So they
don't
have to
get the big enough
cancel it
wave.
every year.
So everybody shows up to take part in the competition. The waves aren't big enough, so they end up having to cancel it. 6 years in a row, they've had to do that. Started back in 1984. Oh, this is even worse. How many years ago was 1984?
31?
Okay, so in 31 years?
Well, 32. I was born in 82, but I'm only 33, so that's why I said 31.
That's okay. So in 32 years that they've been having this event,
right?
8 times. That's it.
Maybe
I got
they
an
should
idea.
move.
Cancel it. You've only done it 8 times in 32 years. Just cancel the goddamn thing. I don't know why you would keep it going. But this is the one that stuck out, and we've talked about this story before. A human foot stuffed inside a black sock and shoe has been found along Vancouver Island's Botanical Beach. According to Bob McClintock of the British Columbia Coroner Service, she said officials believe the foot separated naturally after lengthy exposure to water and then washed up on the beach. A hiker found the foot on Sunday. The shoe found with the foot... here we go. The shoe, which was found with the foot, was first sold in North America in March of 2013. So they're able to go back and track the shoe. Mm-hmm. So they identify what kind of shoe it is. They go, well, that shoe didn't go on sale until 2013. So they know that this person died sometime between March 2013 and December 2015. 13 feet have washed ashore since 2007. So far, they've only been able to connect them to 7 individuals. But remember, it's always like the right foot. Like you never get the pair. And for a long time,
I knew it was always one. I didn't know if it was always one side or the
by
other.
the way, they may be left, but
Yeah.
it's always one foot. They never find the other one.
Yeah.
But they only find one foot. So that starts the whole mystery again of what happened to this. Because remember, for the longest time, there was the belief that it was tsunami victims.
Mm-hmm.
But that got ruled out. Just because of the shoes being able to identify the shoes.
Right.
So now they're stuck again with this foot washing ashore. First of all, how'd you like to be that person?
Wait, But the dead person?
Or
No.
seeing the foot on the beach?
That person.
Yeah.
Finding the foot. I mean, the person whose foot it is, they're already gone.
Maybe they wanted to die.
Well, that's what they say. They don't know. They don't know.
Could just be
Is it
somebody suicide. Yeah.
Was it somebody that was killed and thrown in? Like, they don't know. They don't know what caused, because there's nothing to go on other than foot, shoe, bone.
And like missing persons reports.
Yeah, and that's it. Other than that, they have no idea. But why is it only 1 foot? Is the body designed, like, over time, did we design, like, did we change, did we develop, where if we were in water for a long time, that certain parts of the body separate more than others? Like, obviously your skin goes away. Where, like, if they come down and touch you, you almost just kind of, like, evaporate like sand.
So you're saying, is there
Evolution
is there an evolutionary play to the foot separating?
Where it's in order with the I mean, I don't know if it would be the intended purpose, but where something happens where it's through some kind of weird evolution that when the body starts to go, this part, your foot detaches.
Well,
why would it only be the right foot?
First, remember that evolution is only a theory.
Okay, fine, thank you.
And second, and I don't know.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, doesn't that seem odd? It's only that one foot. Why wouldn't they
there
both
could
come
be
ashore?
Soft spots in the body?
And that's always on the right leg?
I don't know specifically where they are, but I can't see why there would be a reason for it to happen.
Evolution.
Yeah, but the body has become designed for other reasons.
Yeah.
For the living, for the life.
Okay.
It was part of the creation.
No, but then explain why only right feet wash ashore.
Yeah, no, it's very bizarre. I'm not going to deny that.
And that's the only thing that I can think of is that's how our bodies are designed. Where, like, you have a detachable leg.
Like you're choosing to deny our Lord and Savior.
Will you stop? It's just, there's no reason that it's just right feet that are washing up. You got to be able to give me a reason.
Why isn't it hands or a finger? Or
hands, fingers. How about a left foot?
Yeah.
How about any of those? Give me one. And by the way, they're saying that when the foot, these I was gonna say foots, these feet that are washing ashore, it's not like the foot. They can tell by looking at the bone. It's not cut off.
Right.
It's not like they were hacked apart and thrown in the water, and this part came back. So why is it only the right? I'm telling you, that's guy. Who is that? She's hot. Sorry, I saw something out of the corner of my eye.
That's the deadlifter.
No, but you know what I mean? I want that answered.
Yeah, it's a good question.
I feel like it's a great question. I mean, I'm not good in science.
Nor am I. That doesn't make sense to me.
But if I were dealing with, like, what do they call that? Like CSI? I would need that solved.
Well, this is the type of stuff they'll be able to figure out after you donate your body to one of those.
Oh, the body farms.
Farms, yeah.
Oh, I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. Oh, where did I just read?
What you've said you are. Should I change our will?
No. Leave it.
Leave our will.
What is the, oh, damn it. There was just some scandal going on, and I just read where somebody had donated their body to X, and I can't remember what X was. Oh, can you leave your body to a university?
Like a specific school?
Yes.
Like, I want to go to, like, UVA medical school.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, or wherever.
Yeah.
Could you leave your body to Georgetown?
I don't know if they have.
But that would have to be for like a medical program,
to donate.
right?
I mean, there's obviously a medical school, but I'm not familiar with any sort of
but
program
would that be
where
like,
you could do that.
For cadavers and stuff.
I understand that that happens. I just don't know the means in which you'd get done.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize that happens. But there's some scandal going on somewhere where that's taking place.
Is it GW?
Is it? I mean, that would make sense, or else why would I have seen the story?
It says GW's body donor program no longer accepting donations after they were unable to identify and return ashes to families.
That's it. That's the story.
So they use them for cadaver purposes, and then they cremate them and then return them?
I would imagine, sure.
I would think once you give the body, like, I wouldn't expect anything back.
No, but if you gave but you go in knowing that I'm going to give my body to Houston Baptist University.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have people practice, like, cutting me open and doing all that other stuff. And then when they're done with me, they're going to, wrap me up and then give me back to my family. And then you would do with it. So you're just kind of there for a semester. That I get. And you would know going in that you're getting it. But I guess it was GW that was effing the program up. And they weren't getting them back to the people. Which probably doesn't bode well for the school.
So somebody commented about this story and said that they have a similar program at their university in Austria.
Right.
And said that they were one of the, students who benefited from the program. But they said, our families accept that there is a big grave near the city where the body goes after studies. We have a burial of bodies twice a year. The names are marked on a tombstone. There's no option of getting the ashes or anything back.
In
so
Austria.
It's just like a big mass.
Yeah. So it's just big mass grave.
Yeah.
That's fine, though. But you're giving your body for students to be able to practice cutting India. That's fine. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hey, does it really seem that unbelievable that only one foot gets found? You never find a whole set of shark teeth. Fish and sharks and other animals.
Okay, but sir, a shark could lose its tooth biting into another animal. You're talking about a foot detaching from a body.
Yeah, but you got two of them. They both end up in the water somehow. Is it that crazy that you're not going to find a matching pair?
Yeah, it is, because why would only right feet come back to the shore and left feet wouldn't?
Because the other one's getting eaten. Throw some stuff in the ocean at the same place and see if they both land at the same destination.
So animals in the ocean only eat left feet?
Correct. Thanks, man.
All right, later.
Rick on Twitter has a theory.
Yes, go ahead.
Rick's theory is it's only the right since there is nothing left.
Again, that doesn't make sense. Because it would be like, fish
it's
only
a
eat
joke.
everything,
and
but it's
by
like that
Rick, I
last
mean
one.
Christian Finnegan.
Was it Christian?
No.
Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi, Elliot. It's Galen.
Oh, hey, Galen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was just thinking about you the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Different
Why?
time. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know why only one side of the body is washing up. That's really weird. But the reason that only feet are washing up is because they're usually encased in shoes.
Right.
And fish can't eat through the shoe. So that's why feet are washing up. And then at that point, it's like a 50-50 shot. So you'll either get left or you'll get right. So the fact that they've only found right is really down to like 50% rather than, finding fingers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, no.
well.
And I totally get that. I mean, that makes total sense as to why the foot isn't eaten. But what doesn't make any sense is why do they never find a left?
Yeah, like I said, it's probably just down to, you only have two of them, so 50-50.
Yeah, see, I'm not willing to buy that. I mean, I get your point, but I'm not willing to buy that lefts don't wash ashore. It just seems real. I think it's evolutionary. Our body is designed so that if we die, our right foot detaches and our left one doesn't. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought for sure.
Thank you. Very good. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, Galen.
Yep.
You got it. We'll talk to you later. All right, let's do this. Let me take a quick break. We'll come back. Diane's going to do some news. After that, I'm going to give you tickets. You will go see Modest Mouse with Brand New. That show is at Merriweather, July the 12th. Tickets are available through ticketfly.com. But give me a break. We'll do some news, and I'll give you those tickets next.
Elliot.
It's Elliot in the morning. Very nice, Ace Frehley. Very, very nice.
April 15th.
And that's the whole cover record that he told us about.
Yeah. It's called Origins Volume 1. Paul's on it.
Is he really?
Yeah. Paul sings a free song with Ace.
That's pretty good.
Not free as in like his fee.
Complimentary.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
Oh, hell no.
But there's a bunch of guests. Slash.
Oh, really?
Mike McCready.
That's pretty awesome.
Lita Ford.
Okay.
John 5.
What, Lita Ford makes you think of what?
Dumping in a cab?
Yeah, making a poop in the back of a cab.
What happened to Diane?
It
sounded like that you heard Lita Ford on the radio, and that happened to you.
No.
Yeah, no, she was stuck in traffic and couldn't get to a bathroom, so she made poop right in the back of a cab. Hey, it happens. But you know what? You mentioned Paul, and that makes me think if Leonsis gets his Arena League football team.
Yeah.
Does that mean the LA Kiss would come here to play?
I don't really know how their schedules work, but one would assume. Yeah.
They would have to, right? Mm-hmm. And does Bon Jovi still own one? Does he still own the Philadelphia Soul patch?
I don't know.
No, that's you.
Does he still? That's on my crack. The I kind of like the idea of him getting a arena team. Hold on, get it, Ace. There it is. I was like, oh crap! I only like to hear how songs end. Ace sounds good and looks good.
Are we going to see him on this tour?
When is the show? Do we have dates?
Yeah, you know some dates. We could see him. So the record comes out on the 15th. If we want to... April.
Oh, okay.
If we want to trek up to Poughkeepsie after having the album in hand, we can go see him at the Chance on the 16th.
Maybe worth it. Maybe worth it. Oh, that would be hot. All right, we got to get into some news. After that, I am going to give you tickets. You are going to go see Modest Mouse and Brand New. Also, Christian Finnegan is on his way. He's at the Improv this weekend, so he will be in here. And then don't forget, later on this morning, you get your tickets to go see Walk the Moon and Mr. Wives. You keep up with everything, Facebook.com/EITM online.
That was awesome.
Good. That was good.
It was
good.
one of his first concerts, seeing Cream in New York City. That's why he played the song, or put the song in the record.
What's the Slash song, does it say?
It's a Thin Lizzy record, or song.
Song? That's pretty good.
Oh, here we go. Talking about the thing with Paul. He jumped at the chance to do this because it's something that's outside of Kiss and his character in Kiss, and it gave him a chance to, sing. It says, with Paul, you usually think of him singing in a slightly higher register, and on Fire and Water, he's singing deep from his diaphragm, and it's a really cool vocal. Everyone who's heard it was just thinks it's the S. All right.
All right, Diane, let's get into some news, please.
Rough day in Harford County, Maryland yesterday after a gunman opened fire on law enforcement, killing 2 sheriff's deputies there. This all happened initially at a Panera Bread location that happened in Abington as a deputy was responding to a call of a report about somebody who was causing a problem at that Panera restaurant. There, a gunman fatally shot the deputy inside the restaurant and then killed another deputy in the shootout near the shopping center.
And don't they think that the shooting at the officers were just because they were officers?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the other thing that's amazing is that nobody else got hurt.
No. They said that the suspect, 67-year-old David Evans, had warrants out for his arrest, in Maryland as well as in Florida, where he was also accused of assault on a police officer.
Jesus Christ. I feel horrible for those officers. I feel horrible for their families. I know that they are doing flags at half staff.
Yes.
But yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
David Lavelle on Dr. Phil yesterday talking about his daughter Nicole and how he feels responsible in some way for his daughter's death. He said, I put a lot of blame on myself. If I would have been there, maybe she wouldn't have went looking for acceptance from older guys, talking about her activity on the Kick app. So here's David Lavelle talking to Dr. Phil.
She would not have had contact with any older guys, especially without social media. And I don't really know how to say it, but for my daughter to just run away, that's not my daughter. It almost was instantly, something had to have happened.
He talked about how he basically learned about her death on television.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't he find out on the news?
Yeah, and how he was also in the courtroom when they had Natalie Keeper's bond hearing.
Right.
And how he said he almost came out of his skin, essentially, because her attorney was saying that, she's got a gluten allergy, so that would be a reason that they would possibly let her out on bond.
Right, of course.
Right.
Yeah, no, but then I will say when they were going against her getting bail, they were saying that for all the reasons that you're listing as to why she should be out, are exactly the reasons that she should be in.
Mhm.
I mean, she can just flip at any moment.
Right.
Nobody saw this coming.
Yeah.
Nobody saw her behaving like that.
Yeah.
Her BS excuse that she wanted to be part of something secretive and exciting. How can you let that out? Didn't he? Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, didn't he also say, and I didn't see Dr. Phil, so I was just reading part of it, but that I guess the other thing that kind of came out was there was no throat slash.
Right. He said that it was, the way it was described to him, it was more of a stabbing situation. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Neither of them have their next court appearance set for at least till March.
Correct.
Also, the passengers from that cruise ship from hell are back in port.
They got in the middle of the night. You didn't see their return.
After they pulled into the port in New Jersey last night, some of the comments, "I've never feared for my life before," and that was pretty rough of a night. Most of them expressing gladness that they were just there and they were alive.
But was it a 45-degree angle for 8 hours?
4 minor injuries were reported by Royal Caribbean. There was a picture that somebody had put on Instagram of this horrible bruise that this woman got on her knee because she said she essentially went airborne and went crashing up against a wall.
Right.
While the ship was going back and forth. But I guess, like you said, they're going to refund the price of the cruise and then give everybody 50% off
on another cruise. So you'll be good to go. Although we did look something up earlier. We did find out, because we were talking about, I mean, and thank God nobody, 4 minor injuries, they're really lucky.
Yeah.
But what did we learn? Somebody dies on a cruise ship every day.
No, that was definitely
That's like your Vegas analogy.
No, the Vegas
the
thing
casino.
is right. Somebody dies in a Vegas hotel every single day. Not just a Vegas hotel. Somebody dies at the Bellagio every day.
The only number we had was...
I thought you said that they said that on somebody
no, they
dies
said
on a
between
cruise.
2010 and 2013, out of the cruises based from Fort Lauderdale, 66 people had died.
Okay, that's just Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, over the course of 3 years. And how many ships, though, are based out of Fort Lauderdale?
I don't know. This one's based out of Bayonne.
I'm just saying, what I read didn't suggest that a person dies a day.
Oh, that's what I inferred.
But what about the morgue
You
thing,
extrapolated the numbers.
No, but not every day out of Fort Lauderdale, but every day. Somebody dies every day on a cruise ship. That's what I'm getting out of it. But they've got, so we were trying to figure out, if you die on a cruise ship, there's a lot of old people on cruise ships. What do they do? I guess that they just throw them somewhere in the boat until you get home. I'm right.
Tyler had a different guess.
Oh, Tyler thought that.
1.
No,
2.
that's right. Tyler has them tossing them overboard. No, but like when you dock, or not back in, like if you go to a port.
Yes.
So we leave out of Bayonne, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on day 3, assuming that we don't get caught in a hurricane force winds, I die on the boat. Well, if the next day we're docking in St. Thomas, they're not going to take my body off the boat in St. Thomas, and then I got to fly. My family then has to fly me back. It's way too expensive. Flying a dead body is very, very expensive. So I said, no, they probably just throw you down on some ice until you get back to Bayonne.
Well, no, sometimes, though, just because they have a morgue, I mean, the morgue's holding it maybe for that port.
Right. But by the way, I wasn't expecting that they would have a morgue. I really just thought it'd be like an air-conditioned room.
No, they have morgues that can hold between 3 and 6 bodies.
Isn't that amazing?
And they have body bags. So this says, generally speaking, the first large port city the ship calls at is where the body will be offloaded.
Oh, so it doesn't go home.
But each country, well, no, sometimes it does.
Right.
Because each country has its own rules and regulations when it comes to accepting bodies.
Well, what's America's? Like, if I die on that cruise ship, put me wherever you want. You can even put me on a deck. You can leave me in my room. But I want to go back to my port city. I don't want to get off at, I want to get off at home base. Mm-hmm. I want to go back to Bayonne.
Yeah.
First time that sentence has ever been said.
It's worth noting that trip insurance plans do not cover the expenses associated with shipping a body.
And I can't tell you how expensive it is to ship a body. My friend Josh, that used to be his job, was booking travel for dead bodies. That was his gig.
I mean, was he able to get like some sort of discount or
who? No,
for the families?
No. He was just booking their flight.
Is it because it's often like you're not doing that 7 days out?
No, it's last minute.
Yeah.
You're going in cargo, and by the way, you're taking up a lot of space.
Yeah,
because you're going in a box. Mike Jones checking in. We got a cruise warning about Zika last night. Can't wait to sail on Sunday. But I mean, serious note for Jones.
Yeah.
I hope he and Carrie have talked about not wanting to get pregnant in 2 years.
Dude, that is really serious.
No, I'm being serious.
Because if that's the case, and
you
who
don't
knows
want
what
to
the
go.
warning said, you
Yes.
obviously don't go.
No, I'm being very serious.
Okay, but there was a little hint of humor there.
Oh, what? Don't drink the water, you'll get diarrhea? I don't care about that.
No,
He
it's a
brought
lot
up-
different than diarrhea.
No, that's what I mean. He brought up the Zika. That's what I mean. I hope they've thought of that getting into this.
Well, stop saying it with that inflection.
What inflection? I'm saying that the same way I would talk about anything else. I hope you thought of that before you got into
It's
this.
a little snarky. But, like,
No, I couldn't be more serious.
Couldn't be further from genuine.
Oh, that's very genuine. Very genuine.
Well, I'd like you to mention it to him after the show today.
Well, I just mentioned it to him. What do now I got to keep harping on it?
God, how many times I apologize?
I know. No,
Speaking of pitch, I'm like Ryan Reynolds, hot, and then he talks, and you're like, oh man, what is with his voice? Seriously.
Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you right here.
Oh, okay. Well, cruise ships have morgues.
Yeah, that's what Tyler was telling us. They got big old morgues on the cruise ship.
Yeah, so depending on where they're, ported, so, if you're at sea, they'll keep you in the morgue, but if, you're docked somewhere, they'll usually take you off.
I would fight that. If, God forbid, I'm on a cruise ship and Jackie ate it. No,
You want her to go round trip with you?
You're damn right I do. Because you know how expensive it's going to be for me to fly her home from some Caribbean island?
And you already paid for round trip.
Right. No, absolutely. That's true. That's 100% true. Oh, by the way, you said that Tyler found something earlier where, because we were talking about people who go on cruises alone, unless you have a dedicated solo cabin, you have to pay double fare.
Oh, yeah. I went on a cruise last month, and that was the case, but I had someone else with me. But it's crazy expensive if you go by yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of boring, too.
No, going on vacation by yourself's a lot of fun, trust me.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. You get a relaxing away from everyone you hate at work.
Yeah, no, well, amen. By the way, the list of people that I hate at work has grown exponentially in the last couple of days. No, but then you also don't have to hear things like, Dad, can we go do, you're on your own. You're good. You're solid.
That's true, but some cruise lines have those kid daycare things where they just are gone for the day.
Doesn't matter.
You don't have to deal with them.
Doesn't matter.
Kids
All right.
camp.
Very good. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
thanks.
Yes, Tyler.
That was actually Bryce who tweeted about
Bryce, that's right. He
the
knows
price.
everything about the cruises.
He has some good insight. Again, I mentioned that earlier. Scroll through the at mentions past the question about Daniel Trotta on Race Hubs last night. And you see some interesting information concerning cruises.
Hello. You're right,
No, that
Hobie.
was a different hour.
Oh, sorry.
This is Modest Mouse. And, brand new.
All right, go ahead, Diane. Go ahead.
Hillary and Bernie debating on PBS tonight. Burger King is going to permanently add hot dogs to their menu.
Genius.
You will get either the classic hot dog that's ketchup, mustard, onions, and relish, and another one that'll be a chili cheese dog. But now it's after testing it out in certain markets around the country, they decided the reaction was so great, we're going to make it a permanent ad.
Thing ever. That's a home run.
Have you been thinking that's what's missing from their menu?
No, but now that you're going through a fast food place, right? Mm-hmm. If you want a hot dog, where are you going? Now, I mean, yes, there's some. Obviously, Sonic has hot dogs.
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen has hot dogs?
Yes.
You're the one that thinks of it as a fast food place. Everyone else thinks of it as an ice cream place.
Tenders. I always get the chicken tenders or the hamburgers. I've never gotten a hot dog at Dairy
They
Queen.
definitely have hot dogs, yeah.
But is that a drive? But I also don't think of Dairy Queen. We've had this discussion, too. Dairy Queen is a restaurant. It's not a drive-thru. To me.
No.
But it's not.
The debate was, is it a fast food place or an ice cream place?
Well, it's definitely a fast food place.
That's what we were arguing. And
right.
everyone else said,
but
no,
I
it's an
only
ice
dine
cream.
in. I only dine in
joint.
at Dairy Queen, though.
As do I.
Right. However.
With ice cream.
Let me get back to my point, though. If you want to, we don't have Sonic here.
Yes, we do.
Like
Yes,
down
we
like
definitely do.
Fredericksburg, Massaponics, yeah.
On my way home,
Okay.
I don't have a Sonic.
All right, there's not
a
one on
Sonic
your
close.
route.
There's not a fast food place where I could drive through a drive-through and get a hot dog.
Okay.
On my way home, it's genius.
Well,
I could go to
Dairy
Hard
Queen.
Times. No, I don't have a drive-through Dairy Queen on my way home. But if I could go to Hard Times, I love Hard Times, but that's a dine-in restaurant.
Yes.
Now, like when I lived in Houston, we had like James Coney Island where you could drive through. We had Sonic where you could drive through. But here, I don't feel like there's any place where I'm driving through and getting a hot dog.
So let me just, for all the people who work for Hard Times.
No, I love Hard Times.
Clarify.
Love Hard Times.
And let me say, I disagree with this. You have them on the same plane as Dairy Queen.
No, I didn't say that.
You said
Well,
a
it's the same
dine-in
kind.
hot dog restaurant.
Well, then you know what? I also have them on the same plane as the Capitol Grill, which is also a dine-in restaurant.
Where's that? Where's he going? No, he fell into the hole.
Yeah.
No. Yes, it's a dine-in restaurant, and I do love Hard Times. I get the same thing
There
every
are
time I
hot
go.
dogs on the Capitol Grill menu?
No, but I'm saying as long as you're saying I'm comparing Hard Times to Dairy Queen, I'm also comparing it to the Capitol Grill.
But the comparison was dine-in hot dogs.
Oh, then yeah.
For other restaurants listening, I bet a date just opened up.
No, but my point is, I can't hit a drive-through restaurant on my way home and get hot dogs. And I love hot dogs. See, Mark Anthony tweets 7-Eleven hot dogs, which I like, not a drive-through.
But yes,
Eat in.
the Mark Anthony.
And trust me, I've eaten them. I've eaten also the hot dog that looks like it's a
eat 'em
hamburger.
standing by the cheese pumper.
I hate that. I hate that because then you always got like the cheese.
People are never clean there.
The PC. Hardee's has hot dogs. I don't have a Hardee's by me. I don't live by a place. Trust me, I know.
Me.
Find me a drive-through hot dog in Rockville on my way home or in Falls Church.
Stomp your feet and demand a hot dog.
You know what? There's not a shack on the Beltway where I can stop. So I either have to get it in Rockville or I have to get it in Falls Church. And I don't have a drive-through hot dog joint. Now, I do pass several Burger Kings. Listen, my point is it's genius. Because if you don't have a James Coney Island, there's nowhere that you could drive through and get hot dogs.
Now you're set.
That's how this whole thing started. It's really smart. If I want a dine-in experience, then I'll go to Hard Times or Capitol Grill. By the way, Capitol Grill should start doing hot dogs. Hi, Elliot in the morning. Hello.
Yeah, Checkers also sells them.
Okay, I don't have a Checkers near me. I don't have a Checkers. I have nowhere to get a drive-through. Okay, please. I know Five Guys has hot dogs. I know that. I've had them there. But, well, I've only had it once.
You have to get out of the car.
That's a dine-in. Do people not understand? Maybe I'm not speaking, maybe I'm not talking clear. I feel like I've made it pretty clear. I can't drive through. 7-Eleven isn't a drive-through. Five Guys isn't a drive-through. And I will say, I've only gotten a hot dog at Five Guys once. Five Guys is a hamburger joint. Because they will put...
And French fries.
Their French fries are fantastic. Some Sheetz have drive-thrus now. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a Sheetz near me.
There's a Sheetz everywhere.
You're the person who called...
There's no Sheetz in Falls Church. You got to drive out to, like, old Gunpowder Road.
You're the person who called earlier this week who can't get internet. You live there.
Yeah, on that mountain.
Seriously.
You have a Sheetz by your house?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Somewhere.
No, you got to go to old Gunpowder Road.
No,
I
they're
saw it
closer
when I
in.
went to that beach this summer that Kaylee sent me to. It was like an hour away. I saw Sheetz.
Okay, then drive an hour to get a goddamn hot dog.
45 minutes. Kaylee's defending where it was.
What about Wawa?
I don't have a Wawa near me. By the way, Wawa's not a drive-through.
I'm sorry that the infrastructure in this area doesn't meet your standards, but...
I have 10,000 faux restaurants, but I don't have...
Well, that's where you live.
But I don't have...
Why don't you bitch at them to start adding hot dogs?
I don't have... By the way, and if I went to a Wawa, I'm not getting a hot dog. At a Wawa, you get the subs. Wawa subs are great with a tasty cake. Now we're talking... Wait, line one? Why is everybody yelling at me? Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Is this me?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
Ben from Richmond.
Hey, Ben, what's going on, dude?
Hey, just want to let you know, Hardee's has hot dogs.
Right, okay. I don't live in Richmond.
Do y'all have a Hardee's?
Not in Falls Church.
So if y'all have a Hardee's, they have hot dogs.
Okay, I don't have one in Falls Church.
What?
No, well, listen, I didn't design the city. I'm just telling you, I don't have a Hardee's in Falls Church. Why is this?
Can I put this argument to rest?
Go ahead.
This is from Matt on Twitter. There's a Checkers 5 minutes down the road from the station that you can get a hot dog at.
It's cold by the time I get home.
Oh, God.
By the way,
The princess would like it delivered to him.
I will say this. The percentage that I would buy a hot dog and not eat it before I got home is less than 1.
That's right.
Less than that could be covered in chili, cheese, onions, and mustard, and probably some ketchup on top of that. I'm eating it before I get home.
Also, NCIS's Polly Perrette had another scary run-in with a homeless person, apparently.
Isn't she the one that got...
She got attacked like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Outside where a guy just came up and accosted her on the street. And thankfully there was somebody... Yeah, she said she pulled up and there was a guy standing there and she rolled down the window, I guess, to give him some money. And he stuck his head in the car and came at her. And I guess she was able to get away before anything bad happened. Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton lost his luggage and is asking people on Twitter in and around Dallas to help him out. Apparently it fell out of the bed of his truck, and he wants everybody to keep an eye out for 2 black suitcases. Okay. Former Virginia Tech and Redskins wide receiver Josh Morgan recovering after accidentally shooting himself. He was cleaning his gun, and it accidentally went off. He is now charged with misdemeanor reckless use of a firearm. He was cut after training camp with the Saints last year, and obviously now people are making all the Plaxico comparisons.
Sure. Plaxico did time.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, Plaxico was at a club walking up and down the stairs, but still.
Caps are hoping to make it 5 wins in a row tonight against the Minnesota Wild. The Wizards on the road tonight to play the Bucks in their final game before the All-Star break. And CM Punk's debut in the UFC being delayed again as he has to have surgery to repair a herniated disc in his back. So that'll push his debut back at least another 4 to 6 weeks. That's a look at news and sports.
The bigger, better Nation's Gun Show returns to the Dulles Expo Center in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 1,300 tables, more exhibitors, 2 miles of guns, knives, ammo, accessories, and more. It's your one-stop gun shop with everything you need for the shooting sports and self-defense, all at discount gun show prices. Virginia and Utah concealed carry classes taught all 3 days. Join or renew your NRA membership at this show and get in free. Whether you're an experienced marksman or newly interested in self-defense options, don't miss your chance to shop, compare, and talk with the experts at the bigger, better Nation's Gun Show. 1,300 tables. Buy, sell, trade up, and cash in. Friday 3 to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5. The Nation's Gun Show, Dulles Expo Center this weekend. Coupons and more info at cegunshows.com or showmastersgunshows.com. That's cegunshows.com or showmastersgunshows.com.
Better care.
That was
Hey, you can stop hunting. People of Dallas, you can stop hunting. They found Andy Dalton's luggage. Did he just make a U-turn in the road and just go back and be like, oh, there it is?
Bag search 2016 officially over.
Oh, thank God.
The power of social media is real.
Is that the girl who found it?
You said somebody named Robert found it. Is that his wife?
Oh, she's hot. She's cute. Kind of like in a girl next door kind of way. Doesn't matter. Andy Dalton got his luggage back. All right, very good. 866 to Elliot. 866-235-5468. Call me right now. I am going to give you a pair of tickets to go see Modest Mouse in Brand New. That show is going to be July 12th at Merriweather. You can get your tickets through Ticketfly, or you can call me right now. 866-2-ELLIOT. 866-235-5468.
Elliot in the morning.
Elliot, 866-235-5468. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Rob.
Hey, how you doing, dude?
I'm pretty good.
All right, good deal. Well, listen, I am going to give you a pair of tickets. I'm going to send you to go see Modest Mouse in concert with Brand New. They will be together on July the 12th. So if you could hold tight 1 second for me, Kaylee just needs to get some info from you. And,
awesome,
yeah, you will go to the show. Hey, real quick, do you consider yourself a person that sighs a lot?
That what?
Do you sigh a lot?
No, not really.
Really?
Nope.
Like how often?
Sighs or flies?
Sigh. And I don't mean the singer, the awesome singer. Sigh. You know, like,
No, not very much. I'm a pretty positive person, I like to think.
I'm a very positive person, too.
I'm just like you, Elliot. Come on.
Perfect. All right, dude. Well, listen, hold tight 1 second for me. Kaylee will get that info from you, okay?
All right, thanks so much.
Hey, you got it, dude. Hold on. Diane, how often do you sigh?
I really haven't noticed. I mean, it's a good stress reliever.
Just-
but
well, it is a
sighing,
good stress reliever,
Is sighing the same as being like, I do that a lot. But sighing, I don't know.
Are you going to count that as a sigh?
It's something. And she does do that a lot.
She does. No, that you do a lot.
Usually related to something you've said or done.
That's true. Wait, what, Kaylee? I'm
Is
sorry.
that a sigh? Okay.
What did she say?
She sighs all the time at her
No,
desk.
I heard all the time. I didn't hear at her desk.
To me, to me,
No, but
the
that means
sigh
it's not
is like
just in here. Well, that's kind of the same thing.
No. What did I say I do? Different. Totally different.
It's fine. It's your own spin on it. I would count that.
Okay, I'm counting that. So you sigh a lot.
I would say yes.
Outside of here in this room and at your desk. How about at home?
Yeah.
So no, that's okay.
It's a stress reliever.
You're that stressed?
Get a little aggravated.
Sounds like a bull getting ready to be aggressive. It doesn't
That
sound
would be
like
out of my nose.
Do you sigh a lot?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I definitely sigh. My wife has asked me to change it to a deep breath.
So wait, so what are you
Because we teach
doing?
the kids to take a deep breath.
Right.
So when they're
Wait, why are you telling the kids to take a deep breath?
just to kind of regain focus on the situation at
Like
hand.
a reset. Like a
Yeah,
reset.
it's featured heavily in Daniel Tiger.
Not familiar, but okay.
So it's like, when you feel so mad that you want to roar, take a deep breath and count to 4.
It's good advice.
We do a lot of counting to 4 at home.
Kaylee, do you sigh a lot? What's moderate? Okay, I understand moderate is sometimes, but a couple times a day? Really? That's wrong.
When you
What do you mean
so
wrong?
mad
It's wrong.
that you want to roar, take a deep breath and count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
By the way, everybody is wrong.
What do you mean wrong?
Everybody is wrong. You don't control when you sigh.
I mean,
You sigh every 5 minutes. Like clockwork.
everyone.
Everybody sighs every 5 minutes like clockwork.
This reminds me of your urination claim.
The 22 seconds is all it takes to get a stream of urine out of your system. Everybody sighs every 5 minutes like clockwork.
Well, how do they prove that?
Well, I don't prove that. The doctors at Stanford and UCLA prove that. And it is. It's your body resetting itself. It's a little bit of stress relief. It could be for anything. But everybody sighs. And they say if you not trap yourself, but like just sit quietly by yourself, you will sigh. Your body will sigh it's the same way, like, you know how like your eyes blink? Like you don't think anything of it. They just do.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes blink. Your body does that. It's what do they call that? Whatever.
Involuntary reflex?
Same thing. With but now they want to be able to study where in the brain controls your sighing. So they want to be able to deal with people who have like some breathing disorders or breathing issues. So they think that they have found these little 200 somethings, molecules, something or other in the neurons in the brain that control your sighing. And they say, like clockwork, everybody goes every 5 minutes. Isn't that awesome?
I mean, I certainly would have never
No, because you would
said that it's that frequent.
I feel like I do it like intentionally a couple times a day.
I get nervous when Elliot sighs.
Why?
Because it
like
means
I'm
he's going to
yell
go
at
off
somebody?
in some
Yeah,
way.
like you've had it. Because you like to internalize a lot.
I do.
But when you have this outward expression of disgust and disdain,
right?
I'm nervous for everyone who's going to be in your
I feel
line. Yeah.
I feel like when I do a very, well, I was going to say a non 5-minute sigh, that it's very noticeable.
Because you also like brace yourself when you do it.
Well,
Like you'll put your hands like on the console,
Or you clench your fists.
like you're gonna rip the console off.
Yes, you do.
When do I clench my fists?
When you're walking like this down the hall. Maybe.
I don't feel like I do that.
I've seen you do it before.
Yeah, well, once in a blue moon.
I wouldn't say once in a blue moon.
Regularly. I don't feel like I grab the console either.
Yes, you do. Maybe not grab, but you definitely like you put your arms out or extend them onto the
Right.
desk here, table here, and then you'll kind of.
Oh, now I'm like Diane.
But it's like
It's
Diane
cleansing.
does it so much, as Kaylee was so nice to point out, that maybe we've become so used to it that it's almost like just white noise. But for you,
right,
it stands out because you are a very positive person.
That is true. Why are you making a face?
Because you're not.
I feel like I am. With us, I am. At home, I am. It creeps in. I got really dark yesterday. I did get really, really dark yesterday. Got a lot of hate in my heart, Diane.
All right,
I got a lot of hate in my heart.
But overall, a positive person.
Pretty much so. Pretty much so. Pretty much so. But isn't that pretty cool? Every 5 minutes, cool may not be the right word. Interesting. Every 5 minutes you sigh.
No, I think it's cool.
I would have never known that. But that's your body resetting itself.
Yeah.
Your body, by the way, even when you're sleeping, your body resets itself from a breathing standpoint every 5 minutes. But like they go on, and part of the study is like, for example, when you get nervous, why does your breath get shallow?
I think it doesn't have something to do with like your heart rate increasing and just a rise in like your panic level.
You think so? But what makes that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, running makes sense. They understand that because the body needs more oxygen.
Yeah.
So it's sucking for oxygen. That's why also a lot of time, like you're breathing like,
Well, that's
because
like
you're
when
trying to get
something-
oxygen in. But also a lot of times you'll yawn while you're working out or while you're exerting yourself, because that's really flooding oxygen into your system. That they understand.
Or like people who hyperventilate and have to breathe into a bag.
I've never done that. Never done that. I don't even understand how that works.
I'm with you. I mean, I've seen people do it before, and it's almost like, oh, you saw that in the movie.
Fletch. Where am I going? Line 1? Oh, sorry, line 2. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hey, is this me?
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, it's Mark.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Not much. So, I don't know, it seems like maybe the whole sighing thing, maybe it's like a internal like pressure release valve for the body.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a resetting of the body. That it definitely is. But they were talking about how so they went in, these scientists at Stanford and UCLA. They went in just to see if it was this one little packet of neurons in the brain, and they were able to trigger them. And they went from 40 sighs in an hour. This is in a mouse. 40 sighs in an hour to 400 sighs in an hour. Could you imagine doing that? By the way, now that I've said the word sigh a lot, I feel like it's not the right word. Like carrot. If I say carrot a lot, I feel like I'm saying the wrong word. All of a sudden, sigh sounds wrong to me for some reason.
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Hey, I also had a comment. I know we're backtracking a whole bunch this morning, but
That's okay.
Back to the whole the feet washing up on shore thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I tried to call earlier about it, but didn't get a chance to talk. But I don't know if I missed it, but did anybody mention that maybe there's some kind of killer out there who's still?
You know what? The serial killer theory has been floated a bunch around that area, and there was a guy in Seattle who had like a I can't remember what they call it, but it was essentially a farm of dead bodies. But they got a lot of that up, and they didn't believe that any of the feet that had washed up previously belonged to any of the people that were found on that farm.
Right, but the whole thing, it's just like 1 foot, like as far as like someone putting a chain with a weight on it around someone's foot,
right?
And then eventually the chain just like over time severs that foot.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. And the serial killer theory has been floated around, but they have nothing to go on with the feet that wash up and the bones that are attached to show that there was any kind of trauma or anything like horrific that was done, like where it was cut off or something like that.
Okay.
All right,
yeah.
dude. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, take care.
Later. You know the other thing I learned? You will breathe.
Pee for 22 seconds.
That's true. Wait, no, I just lost it. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh. Feel a sigh coming on. Reset.
No. You breathe 600 million times in a lifetime. Doesn't that seem low? And by the way, nobody breathes properly.
This reminds me of when I had my my CT scan, which was my first one ever.
Right.
For my abdominal issue.
Right.
The one where they discovered that I had a large amount of retained stool without obstruction. That's the key, Christian, if he's listening. But now I feel like I can't breathe. Because during the CT scan, she was like, just breathe normally.
Right.
And then you start thinking about it, and you're a freaking mess.
Right. Well, by the way, none of you breathe normally. None of you breathe normally.
Too shallow.
Way too shallow. You don't breathe in.
You're not using the diaphragm
exhale.
correctly.
No. I think they say most of you people, only use 30% of what you're supposed to use when you breathe. Not me. All in, all out. Maybe there's a scant 2-3%.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm all in, all out.
It's
all
like
in, all out.
Paul Stanley on the New Ace Frehley record.
All in.
From the diaphragm.
That's why you hit the low register. That's why this voice is so deep. Because I'm going all deep. All in, all out.
Smoke.
My capacity, my lungs are a little...
Smoke will rise, Diane.
Line 2. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi, is this me?
Yeah, hi. Who's this?
This is Sarah from Midlothian.
Oh, hi, Sarah. Oh, we were talking about Midlothian yesterday. What's up, Woodlake? Anyway, what can I do for you?
You're not allowed to say.
Sorry.
I was calling about why it's hard to breathe when you're nervous or anxious.
Right.
Your muscles are all contracted, so you're not allowing your lungs to reach full capacity because it's just restricted.
All right, well, listen, I'm just telling you what they said at Stanford and UCLA. I mean, it's no reason to jump my ass.
And then also with a paper bag, especially for most people who suffer from anxiety, they can watch the air go in and out of their lungs because most of the time they don't believe that they're getting the oxygen they need.
Oh, you know what? That's
the whole thing.
So it's all visual.
Yeah.
It's like the same reason that blind people don't smoke.
Maybe.
No, that is true.
A small. Okay.
Well, yeah,
you think it's a smaller
amount.
percentage?
Yeah, but blind people don't smoke because they can't see the smoke leave their bodies. They'll smoke pot, but they won't smoke cigarettes. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. I didn't know that. All right, listen, I got to take a break. I appreciate the phone call. Thank you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. We'll talk to you later. You sound thrilled. All right, let me take a quick break. We'll come back. Christian Finnegan joins us next.
Elliot in the morning.
Day. I know a lot of the shows are already sold out. You'll have to check dcimprov.com to get your tickets. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Christian Finnegan.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! How are you, sir?
Words can't describe. I'm so thrilled to be here. No, I am. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic.
That sounded very not sincere at all.
It is utterly sincere. Thank you.
Would you go to a hockey game? We were talking hockey before we went on. Would you go to a game if I took you?
Of course. I mean, it's always fun to go to a game.
When was the last time you went?
You know what? I was at a club in outside of Chicago, and they had like a little peewee game going on. They had like a little peewee hockey.
Doesn't count.
I actually found that kind of fun though. Like it was just seeing all the spazzy kids.
Get in there, Kevin. Come on.
When I think I was traumatized when they made me play hockey for 6 days when I was a kid.
When you were a kid, you played hockey?
Well, they made me, but I don't think I ever got into a game, and they would make me skate around with a folding chair because I couldn't skate properly, and I would skate so that my ankles were like turned in so that the skates were almost flat against the ice. Yeah,
sure. So you went skating. You weren't playing hockey.
No, I mean I had a hockey jersey. I was on a hockey team. I mean,
you could not be on a team if you're skating around with a chair.
Well, no, not during the game.
Oh.
I'm saying that when we'd be like practicing.
During the game you didn't play.
No, I was.
So you held a stick. You were holding a stick though at one point.
Yes, yeah, but literally it was like a tripod. It was like to keep me upright. It was the stick would not move on the ice.
Wait, where you're? I'm trying to remember where you're from.
Massachusetts.
Okay. I don't know why I thought you were like Albany-ish or so. No,
I was born in Albany.
Oh, okay. All right.
Gosh, he has my Wikipedia page memorized. It's so flattering every time.
But you would have been around it then. But I was asking, when was the last time you were at an adult game? A professional game?
I think I went to a Rangers preseason game in like 2002.
Oh
something.
my God.
And because I think somebody took me or whatever. It's not. Yeah. Well, there's other things I can do.
But basketball's your thing.
Yes. Basketball is my favorite sport. I love the way they dribble up and down the court. It's Curtis Blow basketball.
But do you even go to that?
Yes. I mean, when I can, it's hard. Knicks tickets are, brutal to come by.
Right.
Because they always say, I remember in the 90s, the Knicks have the longest sellout streak in the world. But then you look and the stands will be half empty. It's because Goldman Sachs owns 700 tickets.
Yeah, right. They own half the
Doesn't
arena.
mean that, it's sold out.
Right. But that you'll go to.
Oh my God, absolutely. I have a friend who works for SNL and he got it's like fancy tickets, and he took me a couple months ago, and that was pretty sweet. Like where Bill O'Reilly is 5 seats down, and so and so.
What a thrill to be that close to
I know,
Bill O'Reilly,
to Papa Bear himself. Yes. No, but that was kind of awesome.
No, that would be fantastic to be down on the floor like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I saw that you did a bunch of the basketball stuff made sense to me, where you did like a whole series of videos.
Yeah,
where you were comparing basketball teams to famous people.
Yeah, just to give you, for people who aren't sports fans, but maybe pop culture fans, and they want to know who the teams are and who they relate to.
Right. So the Sixers were Byron Allen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Because you can't pump anybody who pumps that much garbage into the atmosphere has to be secretly making millions of dollars. There's no other way to explain it.
But is the factoid that you gave about Byron Allen true?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's worth $400 million.
Yes.
How?
Yes. Because he owns all of those shows. And it's actually kind of genius the way he does it. I did a lot of research into Byron Allen. What he does is he gives these shows to networks for free, like literally for free. He doesn't charge anything for them. All he says is, you give me the ad time.
Right.
I'll sell the ads myself. And so he sells the advertising to his shows himself.
So he gets to
keeps
keep everything.
all that. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the incentive for the networks to run it?
It's because it's
free
2:15 in the morning, and it's just one less thing they have to deal with.
So
it's like farming out that time.
$400 million.
So, I mean, whatever that figure is that I found. Yeah.
Wow. Let's see. The Cavaliers are Urkel. I'm sorry,
they're Urkel. Stephon Urkel.
Right.
Say, because they're fancy now, but they're going to revert back to Steven Urkel any moment now.
And then the Pelicans were Armie Hammer.
That one I felt very proud of that, even though it doesn't have the sort of hilarious comedic zing to it.
Right.
But it's like Armie Hammer, 4 years ago, was like, this dude's going to be a huge star. Like, he's on the social networks, he's 6'5", he's good looking, he's got a comedic timing, he's going to be huge. And then Lone Ranger came out and you're like, maybe not. And that's kind of the way the Pelicans are. Everybody thought they were going to be dominating the league. It's like, yeah, not quite yet. Not quite yet.
But then but you also did the same thing for football.
Yes, I did. I think 10 football teams and then 10 NBA teams, and hopefully, my plan was to do all 10, the whole NBA, but I don't know if we're going to get to it.
The Chris O'Donnell, I'm guessing, would hate your guts if he ran into you.
Probably,
dude. But he is the Cincinnati Bengals are Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, and of course, I filmed that before Cincinnati won their first 8 games or something. So I felt a little, but yeah, Cincinnati Bengals, it's kind of how are they still in the league? Even when they're good, they're not good. Nobody remembers them. The Bengals are the team that you ask the bartender to turn off because there's preseason hockey on.
Exactly.
But yeah, Chris O'Donnell, it's name one thing that Chris O'Donnell's been great in. I defy you. Tell me one thing. You know Chris O'Donnell's good in? You're not going to think of it. And yet, he has a massive career that has kept going for 25 years now. Yeah. You call that a Chris O'Donnell movie? Cynical Woman?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't really his vehicle, but he was in the movie.
Yes, of course he was he was a barnacle on the good ship Scent of a Woman.
But do any of the people get pissed? Because there's 2 on here that
we don't run in the same circles, Elliot.
No, but I feel like there are two teams that would get pissed at you. Like basketball fans, I don't feel like they would get pissed at you.
Basketball
Hockey
fans have
wouldn't get-
way better senses of humor. That's one of the reasons I love basketball, is that basketball writers are hilarious and football writers are all idiots. They really are. I mean, people who write exclusively about football, they're not funny. And honestly, people who are exclusive football fans are not funny. They're jocks, and I think you can, if you're just a sports fan and
Right.
you happen to also like football, but I'm saying the people who are like football obsessives are not generally funny people. The people who are basketball obsessives tend to be hilarious.
Really?
I think so. And baseball too. Baseball and football, baseball and basketball are the funniest. Like Bill Simmons, not that he's, laugh out loud, but
Right.
he's funny,
Right, sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of great basketball writers who are just very funny to me.
Do you even care about baseball? No.
I'll go to a game. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do people care about baseball? They do, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I love baseball.
Am I Cuban? Am I really? Sorry. Do I look Dominican? Answer: no.
No, but the two teams where I could see them getting pissed at you and I mean, they're funny. And by the way, they're meant to be funny.
Let's hope.
The Dallas Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
Of comparing him to Jimmy Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
And not that that's bad, but the reasoning behind it, I could see them getting pissed off.
Yeah.
And Steelers fans with the comparison to Bill Cosby, I feel like would set people off.
Yeah, but they're not. But people have to understand, it's not 2016 Bill Cosby. It's like 2012, 2013 Bill Cosby, where there was like weird stuff floating around the air, but it hadn't really been confirmed, and yet they still managed to be like sanctimonious and act like they were better than you. And it's like, I've heard rumors that make me think that maybe you're not better than me. That's sort of the way, like the Steelers, the Rooney rule, the Rooney way, and like this pride and this we have this legacy here in Pittsburgh with the Steelers. It's like, yeah, but I'm pretty sure you fed your athletes steroids from 1960 to 1994. And
No, but just even when you get to we're beating you in rapes 50-2,
Yeah.
it's like, Jesus Christ, Finnegan.
allegedly.
Now, by the way, Kaylee's a diehard Steelers fan and probably
Sorry.
hates your guts right now.
Your quarterback is a criminal.
That was at the. That was her for her wedding. She handed out wedding towels.
Aww. That's pathetic. No, it's not. It's wonderful and good for you for showing support for your. I mean, it does feel bad to beat up on Steelers fans because it's Pittsburgh, man.
What's wrong with Pittsburgh, though?
They need it.
What do you mean?
They need it. I mean, the Steelers are a bigger deal within the context of Pittsburgh than most sports teams are in their cities. Do you know what I mean? Because, do you know what I'm saying? That it's like people.
No, I mean,
I understand that people are Giants fans or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're in New York. There's other things to be distracted by. It's like, what do you got without the Pittsburgh? We have Three Rivers. Andy Warhol Museum.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm sure when the Steelers are not playing, I'm sure they're all flocking to the Andy Warhol Museum.
But then
although I bet Warhol would love the terrible towel. Like he would do a silk screen of the terrible towel.
Have you been there?
I have not. I've always wanted to. I've never.
Wait, are we talking not Pittsburgh, the Warhol Museum?
No, I've wanted to. I never haven't gotten there.
No, because I could see you going there.
I
could
would
see that
totally
being
go
up your
there. I
alley.
just didn't. Yeah, I haven't.
Do you play Pittsburgh?
I used to. I haven't been there. They had an improv there that closed, but I haven't been there for like 4 years.
All right.
Great story though. Sorry, I know that you kind of set up for like, tell us a fun anecdote about playing Pittsburgh. You're like, yeah, I got nothing.
No, but I was reading your, going back to football for a second, I was reading your Twitter feed. It didn't seem like you enjoyed the Super Bowl, though.
What made you think I didn't enjoy it?
Let's see. You didn't like Coldplay at halftime?
Oh my God, what a flaccid weenie that was.
See, I like them though.
But really?
No, I really do. Have you ever seen them live? Other than on the Super Bowl? The answer is no.
I don't need to see Coldplay live.
No, you really do.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you really do.
Coldplay is like lunch at Panera. It's fine. It's fine.
No, but I'm telling you, they're really good. Live, they're fantastic.
They're okay. Chris Martin's extremely low rent Bono impression.
Okay, no,
that whole it's just forced enthusiasm.
No, but that's where you're wrong. It's not.
It is.
No.
Oh my God, the super like him. He
Not
really,
it.
him
He really
bouncing around, jumping around. You're British. Stop it.
So you did okay. So you didn't like that. Did you like Bruno and Beyonce?
Yes, I did. No, but the Coldplay thing, when Coldplay was on, it felt like when you're on like Delta and you don't want to shell out to watch a movie, so you're just watching the free entertainment that they provide on like the 4 channels. Like that's how that concert felt. Like it was just kind of one of those.
But is that because you're like music snobby though?
No, it's because there's just nothing.
Tyler, will you tell him? Because he'll listen to you.
Empty calories.
No, it's not. Tell Coldplay.
There's 5 Coldplay songs that I think are pretty good.
Oh, they're okay.
No. I had
surprised there's
Rush
that
of
many.
Blood to the Head. I thought it was a pretty good album.
I'm surprised that there's that many. But tell them they're good. They're good live.
It's a good show.
They're
It
fantastic.
transforms the arena to make it feel like it's more intimate.
Well, I mean, I will say, again with U2, U2 has that thing too, where the bigness of the songs.
I don't like them.
Oh, how can you like Coldplay and not like U2?
I don't like U2.
That is mentally ill.
There's no. There's a couple of U2 songs that I like, but as a package, I don't.
That is, I'm trying to think of like what's that the equivalent of. It's like, oh boy,
The majority of people.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, how can you like the imitation and not the thing it's imitating? Do you know what I mean? Like.
All right, that's fair.
It's like I really love that Frank Sinatra impersonator. Frank Sinatra, not so much of a fan.
No, see, because I feel like that would be you just being like music snobby, though.
I mean, I really try to fight against that. I will
against being a music snob.
Yes,
but you are.
Well, no, but
that's not true.
Well, I care.
Right.
I care. But there's a lot of bands that would be considered utterly uncool, and music snobs would never in a million years admit to liking that I love.
Right. So like fun.
I will defend Journey. I'll defend the Eagles. I'll defend a lot of things. I won't defend the Eagles as people. I'll defend 7 Eagles songs. Sorry, Glenn Frey. R.I.P.
But like, will you watch the Grammys?
Nah.
No.
I mean, first of all, everything is always so bite-sizable now that if something good happens, it'll be on Reddit the next day anyway. So I don't feel like I have to watch them, and I don't find that because the Grammys tend to focus on it's all going to be Adele, and nothing wrong with Adele. I think Adele's great, but it's just like, it's not going to be funny. It's not, there's not going to be, although I know they're doing a Bowie tribute, so I'll want to check that out, I guess.
But you're a big Bowie head.
I am. Well, that's what's been so bizarre, and I know a lot
people
of
that are dying.
Well, that too. Yeah, I mean, we're all going to die, Elliot. You know that, right? I mean, none of us is immortal. But a few months ago, I hosted a David Bowie trivia championship, because I'm like a Bowie obsessive.
Are you really?
Yeah. And this guy who wrote a book, there's a dude who writes a great website called Pushing Ahead of the Dame, but it's just bowiesongs.com, and he does this incredibly extensive breakdown on every single song Bowie has ever released, who played on
Finnegan.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. I said the bad word.
That's
sorry.
okay. That's all right.
I got passionate.
Yes.
Any hoozle. No, but this guy wrote a book that I wrote him. I was like, hey, my wife has this space that she runs. And so I was like, hey, you should come and we'll do like a Bowie trivia championship thing. And so I had been like really immersed in it, and so when he died and all these clips started floating around, I was like, oh, I remember saw that clip. And I saw, so yeah.
did you participate in the?
I like hosted it. Like
okay.
He did like a 20-minute presentation and then helped me come up with the questions, and then I kind of hosted it.
And did people show up to participate?
They did. I think we probably overshot the knowledge level. Like, I was kind of hoping it was going to be real hardcore geeks, of which they're out there. But it was also a lot of people who were like, I saw Labyrinth, and so they might not be as interested in who played bass on,
oh my God,
Diamond Dogs or whatever. It's like they might not be totally.
But that's the space we talked to you about that. That's the
QED.
Yeah, that you and your wife run in Queens.
Well, my wife runs it. My wife opened a performance venue about 14 months ago.
Right.
It had just opened when I was here last.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, and it's
great.
It's
like an after-school facility for adults.
That's what their tagline, after school for adults. And it's a lot of shows, a lot of comedy, but then also classes, crochet classes and calligraphy classes and all sorts of things like that. But I always say that she's the mother of the space. I'm the stepdad who can take you to McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
That's the extent of my responsibility. It's like, in a pinch, I can babysit, but I'm not.
But
I make no decisions.
But don't you do something where is it once a month where you go do
Yeah.
I don't know if it's new material, but
for
you
me,
go
yeah.
do stuff.
Oh, I do a monthly show there that's just new material where I have pros come out, and that's why I always try to tell people, it's like, these are real comics who don't need to be doing this. It's not just.
So they're legit comics that will come out there.
Yeah,
just
Judah
to try
Friedlander,
out.
Gary Goldman, Marina Franklin, Judy Gold. A lot of people will come and just because a lot of times comics, they don't have a designated space where they're asked to do new material, and so sometimes it's nice to have that excuse, not only can I work on a new bit, I'm being asked to do that.
Right.
And for me, it's great because it's once a month that I know I'm going to have to write 10 to 15 new minutes.
Didn't there used to be a place in New York where once a week, it was all a bunch of comics, famous comics?
Eating it at Luna Lounge, yeah. Although that, when that.
But that kind of went away, right? But it was the same thing where they weren't
that was the
performing.
idea.
They were just sitting there telling jokes.
Or at least, they were. You could bring your notes up. It wasn't like.
Oh yeah, no. But I mean, it wasn't like they
thing.
had a mic in their hand and they were like, "Hey, so now I've reduced what you do for a living."
hey, who's dating?
No, but it was just working on new material.
Yeah,
and they just kind of wanted to see how it was going.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just sometimes you need to almost be forced into. It's nice to have somebody say, no, you have to do new stuff instead to have that pressure.
But they also don't have to show up.
The comics, or the people?
You're saying, the comics who are doing it, you're saying, well, they'll come out and do, these Judah.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have 15 minutes or something, he just go, well, I'm not coming this week or this month.
Well, let's hope they don't do that.
You, on the other hand, I feel like you have to be there.
I do have to be there.
But I do like that idea, though. That's awesome.
It just, I've written a lot. I to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of it a couple weeks ago, I recorded an hour of just stuff that I've done on that show. And I don't know if it'll ever see the light of day. It was most just an experiment, but it was fun. It's just a little, 35, 40 people in the room at the most. And it's just a cool excuse to just work on new stuff. And so I recorded an hour of stuff that I'd done just on that show. So as a result,
so it's not stuff you've even taken on the road or anything.
I would say of that hour, 20 minutes to a half an hour has sort of been polished up and worked its way into my set.
Right.
And the other half of it is maybe stuff that's so weird or so offbeat that it doesn't really work in a club environment.
Oh, I would probably love it though.
Whereas I would one month I was on a game show back in 2001, and I won a car. I think I've told you this.
It was Name That Video.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. You struggled at the end with Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, just
but
watched
I brought
that
in
clip
the video.
yesterday.
Yeah, I brought in the video of it, and I broke it down and spent 15 minutes and kind of did a John Madden on it. And that's not the kind of thing that really works in a club environment, obviously. So some things it's just fun for that show.
No, but what was the vehicle you won?
A Toyota 4Runner.
Oh, that's right. What'd you do with it?
Went right back to Toyota. It all went to MasterCard.
Are you serious?
Thing. Yeah, I didn't even have a driver's license at the time. So
how old were you in that clip?
14.
No, you weren't. How old were you?
How old was I? 2001. I would have been.
I mean, you killed it
27.
on other than the Whitney Houston song. You railed through those the videos.
Yeah, and I eventually got the Whitney Houston. Let's get the record straight. I did get it, Elliot. It just took me a couple seconds. I want my credit. Damn it.
Well, go back to the space thing, because I saw you're doing like a whole Oscars viewing thing there.
Well, I'm not. Again, it's
So you're not
all
gonna
my
be a
wife.
part of that.
No, I mean I'll probably be there, and I'm there if she needs like a host or whatever. But I love it. I'm really proud of it. I'm way more proud of QED than anything I've ever done. It's easier to be proud of something your spouse does. Do you know what I mean? Because then
you should be proud of what you've done.
Well, of course. Thank you. Can I have a hug? No. But it's a different kind of pride. Do you know what I mean? You can just be. It's its own entity when it's you. When you're talking about being proud of your material, it's like it's almost like feels like you're bragging about yourself. Whereas I can brag about QED all day and not feel embarrassed about it because I think it's great and people love it.
Can I ask you this, honest question?
Yeah.
When whose idea was it?
Oh, well, it was always. I always tried to convince my wife that what she needed to do was run a space because she's got all these different talents and. That's like the one thing that encompasses all of them.
You were encouraging of the whole thing from the beginning.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, because there's part of me that would think like if my wife came to me and said I want to open a after school facility for adults, I would have been like, you got to be kidding me! Like we're just flushing money down a toilet.
You're probably not wrong, but let's be very clear about this. I know nothing about being an adult and how to save for retirement and things like that. So to me. I feel like, well, I'd rather flush my money down the toilet in a way that is kind of romantic, capital R, and you know what I mean? That has some artistic aspiration to it than invest in soybeans or something like that.
Okay, well, there's probably something in the middle, but I do feel like if my wife came to me and was like, hey, I have this idea, I'd have been like, you got to be effing kidding me, and then I would begrudgingly do it because I didn't want to get divorced, and then I would be miserable as 6 months later we boarded the thing up and tried to sell it.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. No, honestly, it's gone better than we had. I mean, I tend to be a pretty cynical person, and so
no.
But I kind of assumed it was going to be 3 years before we started to make a profit. That's that's what I told in my head. That after year 3 is probably when will be our first dollar in the black.
Right.
Whoopsie.
That's okay. It'll just short the board out. That's fine. So we're cussing, we're spilling liquor.
Save my baseball.
Whatever you do, don't get up to get a napkin. don't move. Diane will get it.
I got it.
I'm sorry about that, Elliot. I smelled my donut. Whoopsie daisy. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, honestly, you're like my kids. They spill everything and they'll just look at you. Oh, well, look what just spilled.
I actually looked at you as I tipped it over. It was totally like it was a power move on my part. See how I'm making you guys clean this up for me as I sit here?
But you thought it would be 3 years.
Well,
but you're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, we didn't get a bank loan. We loaned the space the money,
right?
And so that takes sort of the pressure off. Like, there's no interest accruing and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going well. Like,
dude,
people
that's
love
awesome,
it.
though.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's going great.
No, I'm thrilled for that. All right, let me do this.
If you're coming to Astoria, Queens, guys. Now that's the thing. It's a neighborhood place, But yeah, if you're going to New York City.
Oh wait, so is it like the same losers every Tuesday stroll in there?
Well, okay. There are regulars. I mean, not solely regulars, but first of all, there's 1,000 comedians that live in the neighborhood, which is one of the reasons.
Oh, that's
it works.
awesome.
There's something about Astoria. Well, not even something about Astoria. You're very close to the bridge, and so it's easy if you're a comedian. You want to get on the road. It's an easy place to do it from. But yeah, Ted Alexandra lives there.
Does Hannibal live there? I didn't know you and he were so tight.
We're not so tight.
I heard you do a whole show with him.
Well, I mean, we were just booked on it together.
Oh, okay. But it sounded like you guys were friendly.
Well, of course we are. I mean, but we're friendly and kind of just dudes in the scene friends, comedy friends.
You work together.
Yeah, comedy friends. Right. Which is like, yeah, I could drink with you and bitch about some club owner for an hour. You know what I mean?
Awkward look at Allison. All right, let me do this. Let me take a quick break. Our buddy Christian Finnegan is with us. He is at the Improv through Sunday. DCimprov.com to get your tickets. One quick break. More with Christian. Our buddy Christian Finnegan is with us.
Somebody's tuning in right now. They're like, "What station is this? Why are they playing Whitney Houston?"
Is the Christian was telling us the story. We were mentioning Name That Video. And, like, you won the car.
I did.
But there's a whole behind-the-scenes thing.
A whole saga.
Is it... But, I mean, do they tell you after... The clip of you winning isn't really you winning. You won the day before, but you had...
I won the day before. There was some controversy.
Right.
They had to have me come back the next day and wear the same clothing and do 10 different videos, like do the championship round over again because they screwed up.
Right.
And so I spent 24 hours laying on my 6-inch futon bed listening to rats chew the plaster. Literally, I was in an apartment that was infested with rats.
How old were you? Do you remember how old you were?
I was like 27, 26.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Wait, and where were you living?
108th Street in Manhattan.
Okay. All right.
And,
so you're living in some rat hole.
Yeah. No, literally, you would turn off the lights and you would immediately hear like...
Oh, God.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I remember... I walked out of I would always try to alert the rats to my presence. There was also 4 dogs in the apartment. 2 Rottweilers, a pit bull, and a Labrador. And,
in your apartment?
Yes.
Were they your dogs?
No, it was my short-lived roommates. My 38-year-old aspiring hip-hop DJ roommate. So I was literally the worst time of my life. I'm sorry to keep saying literally, like it's annoying 22-year-old.
Right.
But I remember I would never see the rats. As long as I didn't see them, I could kind of tell myself that it was just stardom trying to break through my wall. But I remember one night I came out because I had to use the bathroom before going to bed, and I forgot. Usually what I would do is stomp and yell to sort of alert. They're like, "Bah!" just to make the rats go away.
Right.
And one night I don't do that, and I see the sofa in the living room was turned up on its end. I don't remember why. To make room for his DJ tables, which had a tarp over them. But
his crates.
Yeah. And the wheels of steel. And a big, greasy, Willard-sized rat
Jesus Christ.
crawled out and ran across the living room. And then I sat there and my heart sank. And then another rat crawled out and ran across the room. 7 rats over the course of 30 seconds ran across the living room.
I have the worst fear of rats. Like, it's not good. Like,
No,
I'll run. I can't. I just, whatever it is, I can't take it.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I would have ever been able to have lived there.
Mhm.
But was that your ticket out? If
That
you
was,
won?
yeah. Well, I remember that night. I remember as a low point because I remember finding myself back in my room because the rats ran between me and the bathroom, and I remember staring into the mirror and saying, "Okay, Finnegan, you just peed in a plastic bag and threw it out the window because you're too afraid to walk to your own bathroom. This is not good." And I remember a few weeks after that, the ceiling above the tub caved in, and my roommate, because it was totally an illegal sublet situation, I never even met the landlord, and he wouldn't let me meet the landlord because he had lived there for like 15 years, and I'm sure I wasn't allowed to be living there. And he was like, "Oh, I'll fix it. But for about 6 weeks, there was just a big 3x3 hole over the bathtub. And I remember one day I came back from my temp job at Goldman Sachs, and I was sitting on the toilet doing what people do, and I heard this just skitter, skitter, skitter across the ceiling, and a rat poked his head out of the hole and just looked at me. And I yelled. I was just like, "Ah!" And the rat did nothing. It just looked at me like, "What's up?"
Holy crap.
And I started crying. I literally started bawling. And if you want to know what living in New York City is like, crying on the toilet is probably as apt a metaphor as I could imagine. But yeah, going on, and then I went on this game show and I won this car. But the annoying thing is it took 3 months to get paid, to get the car, to get the ownership, and to be able to sell it back to Toyota.
Right.
And so I still had to like live in this hellhole for 3 months, but knowing that and at the time, I mean, granted, a car is a lot of money,
right?
But it seemed like even more money to me. Like when I won this car, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to live in Fiji and I'm going to have a private jet. You think just the money a car is going to provide you is just going to be endless. But it was enough to move to Queens. Yay.
All right, a couple of other things. No, I mentioned I heard you doing something with Hannibal. And you guys were talking about, well, first of all, I love that he chose where he was going to film his stand-up special based on the fact he had a threesome there. But but you'd mentioned that you get starstruck. I forget.
I did
how
my
it
first CD in DC because I had a onesome there.
Excellent. No, but why you get starstruck around like musicians?
Yeah,
not
comics.
No,
Yeah,
not comics. I wouldn't expect that you would.
No, I mean, yeah, musicians because they do something I can't do, and
get on stage and perform.
Well, that's the writing of the songs.
Okay, but you write an act.
It's different. It's different. It's the same way. I'd probably be more. I'd be weirded out around athletes more than I would actors as well. There's first of all because if you stick around doing stand up and acting long enough, you meet people who are kind of a bigger deal and. The balloon gets popped slightly. Not that you think that they're bad people, but there's no mystery to it.
Right.
Whereas being a musician or being an athlete, like it's just something you don't do, and so there's still this lofty space in your head that you reserve.
So you would
for
get
them.
starstruck around athletes also?
I imagine I would. I've never met like a real. I mean, I guess I have. Like sometimes doing morning radio.
Right.
You'll go into the local ESPN affiliate or whatever, and it'll be some dude who. But they're
retired.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's not going to be Peyton Manning. I seriously doubt Peyton Manning will be doing a local 97.3 in Dayton. But
I think I want to ask you something serious if you don't mind.
Sure.
No, I'm being serious.
I will not kiss you. I wish you would stop asking.
No, I heard you talking about something that I've never heard you talk about before.
What?
Your family.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
It's a weird
No,
one. No, it is.
I don't mind at all. I don't really talk about it on
about
stage just because I haven't really found a comedic in for it, and people get weird. But I don't,
But like we talked about Cambry's family, and obviously she wrote a book.
I'll mock her family all day long. But yeah.
But I had and like backing up for a second, like knowing Cambry's family. Well, I don't know them, but knowing the story of her family in the back of my head. And I don't know nothing about your family, but in the back of my head, there was always a part of me that was like, it must be really, because let me pause again. In my head, you came from a very normal family. You're educated, like everything's fine, and you came from what I would consider to be like a very like normal traditional family.
It seemed so for many stretches of years.
Right. Okay. but you know what I mean. So if you take somebody from that and mix it in with Cambry's family,
yeah,
it almost seems like it would be so much that you would go, how would you even like adjust yourself to fit into that? Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. I mean, and I, for comedic value, and just for people who are not totally immersed in my work,
right?
Cambry, my wife, she grew up in the woods in a shed, or at least spent a part of her life living in a horse shed, and no running water, no electricity, and her parents are both deaf, and her dad's in jail for attempted murder, and she wrote a book about all this. Her third wife, his third wife, yes.
Thank you.
And cut her throat, stabbed her 5 times. That whole deal. And so that is so. I mean, I don't want to demean it by saying cartoony, but it's so larger than life. Her family story that I always kind of would take a comedic tack of being like, I'm such a loser, and she's got this crazy life, and I'm such a suburban white dude,
But that's what I mean. Take somebody from like a normal suburban setting and put them into that. It would almost be too much that you wouldn't be able to deal with it.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I both my brothers died, and and my mom is mentally ill, and and so that's. So I mean, everybody has their own stuff, but I've never really talked about it on stage. I have actually at like storytelling shows, and I've talked about it on podcasts and things, but I don't really talk about it on stage, not because I'm afraid to or whatever. It's just, I haven't found a way that people want to hear it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, let me tell you about death, And also with my mom, I wouldn't want to insult her like that because without being, we don't really have a relationship.
Right.
And so I wouldn't want to exploit her for gags.
Yeah, right.
Considering
No, that I
we're
totally
not
get.
close.
That totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
When was the last time you have talked to your mom at all?
Talked to her, actually spoke to her. It's probably a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, I'm guessing. We traded emails a few months ago.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like much more distant than that.
Well, it goes through periods, when my older brother passed away, and that was another thing too, is that, my younger brother had a heart transplant. He was sick his entire life,
Right.
But he died when he was 19, in 2001. And my older brother died in 2007, just very suddenly. And so.
Heart attack, right?
Yeah. And so it wasn't like all of this happened when I was a little kid, and I necessarily grew up with that.
Right.
But when my older brother passed away, obviously I felt like I had to kind of step it up in the mom department.
Right. Was he closer with your mom?
Yeah, much.
Okay.
Both of my brothers were my younger brother and her were kind of attached at the hip. They were very unhealthfully close.
Really?
Yeah. Like he's slept in the same bed with her until he was 11, and it was not
really.
It was not good. Well, and part of it is that he had spent a lot of his childhood living in hospitals, and my mother would live in there with him at times.
Right.
And sometimes because it was a place for her to live. She's kind of a bit of a grifter,
right,
who kind of floats around from place to place. And so anyway, and my older brother, kind of to his credit, was kind of saddled with, he felt more like he kind of had one foot in the sort of crazy world himself a little bit, in my opinion.
Right.
And felt much more connected to, she's really turning it around. I think it's going to be fine this time. And I kind of took that as an excuse to be like, see you later, suckers. And
was he resentful towards you for that?
A little bit. And I don't blame him.
Right.
But, we all make our own decisions and blah, blah, blah. But when John, my older brother, passed away, I felt like I had to kind of reconnect. And I tried for a long time. I tried my best.
At that point, would she give you the Heisman of like, hey, you were away for so long, now don't come crawling back?
No, that's not the way she is. And I don't want to just speak ill of a person who, but she's a bit of a, she'll see a weak spot and she'll really dive in and exploit it as best she can, and she will drain you of all money and time if you
her
allow
name's
her
not
to.
Phyllis, is it?
No.
Because you're describing my mom. But no, okay. So go back. So your brother had a heart transplant. Your older brother dies of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Do you ever sit there and go like, "Hey, is this thing?"
Well, I'm heartless, which helps in this department. It helps when you have no feelings or emotional connection to. Being a sociopath helps. I think I have like a leaky valve or something.
So you've got something going on there.
Yeah, I should probably get it checked out. It's been about a decade. But yeah, but it's not anything. Well, and my older brother, nobody really knew. Well, the thing is,
nobody knew he had something wrong.
No, and
Right.
I don't want to make anybody feel bad who's listening or whatever, but he was extremely overweight and smoked,
Right.
and all these things, and 37 is just way too young an age
very
to
young.
go, and so I would encourage people, if they are, really overweight, to not smoke,
Right.
and
But if you're of a good size, you can smoke. That's fine.
Of course, yeah. Smoke it up.
Is that what pushed you to lose your
No,
weight?
I was very lucky that I actually lost weight in 2006, like a year before that. I was
Right.
actually at my skinniest. I remember this. There's so many things that go on when somebody in your family dies, and for me, everybody processes grief in their own way. And I remember my dad saying something that has always resonated with me, that anything is grief. Any way that you're acting that isn't the way you would normally act counts as grief. And so if you're not crying, if you're not bawling your eyes out, don't like beat yourself up about that, but it's like that's what I would do. Is like, why aren't I feeling worse? And every time somebody would say something I would laugh at, then I would feel bad. Like, why am I laughing? What kind of person am I? That's grief. That is all grief.
Right.
But I remember.
But you know what? That makes sense. Like when my dad died, I remember feeling guilty that my first thought wasn't like, oh, this. No, he battled lung cancer for a while.
Yeah.
But my first thought wasn't like, oh my God, this is the most horrific thing that's ever happened. I felt such relief that he died. And then I got so mad at myself. I was like, well, I should really be upset.
Well, that's the way, when my younger brother, he was sick for so long and to such a degree that it's just kind of like, can we just put a period on this?
Right.
And part of it is for that other person too. It's like, it's not like they're going to recover.
Right.
So can we just get this done, please? Or not. That sounds harsh, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally.
There's some finality to it. Just existing in that limbo space is just crazy making. But I remember going to my older brother's funeral and putting on my suit and being like, oh my God, because I just bought the suit because I'd lost all this weight, and I remember thinking like, I can wear my suit. You know what I mean? And it just like, even just saying that now, it just makes me feel like so sick to my stomach about it. Like, ugh, you jackass.
But are you and your dad close?
Yeah. My dad, close as a guy in his 40s and his dad are going to be.
Right.
But I took him to Santa Fe last year. It was like
Did
his
you really?
lifelong dream to go to Santa Fe. I didn't know that there was a term for this, but in the 80s, my dad was like really into Southwestern art, like George O'Keeffe paintings and
was he really?
Turquoise and mauve and all this stuff. And my wife told me
for that?
Cherahonky. And I had never heard that before, and she told me, she's like, oh, he's a Cherahonky. I was like, oh my God, that's so perfect. It's exactly what he was. There was a lot of that in the mid to late 80s. A lot of suburban northeastern dudes who all of a sudden had, bull skull art and stuff like that.
Now, is he still with us? Is he
yes.
Still,
yeah. Right, but yeah, he had always wanted to go to Santa Fe, and so
was that a fun trip?
Fun,
no.
maybe. Oh, no, it was gratifying.
Right.
It was great. I'm so glad we did it. Santa Fe is unbelievably gorgeous, but
is it really?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I remember my dad made us drive through there when I was a kid, and it was atrocious.
No, you're wrong.
I
mean, the city itself is the city, but I mean, the area is just beautiful. I mean, if you like, red dirt, but you know what I mean? It's got that Southwestern thing. We went to Taos for a day. It's gorgeous.
So did you, was it all like, hey, we're going to go out here, we're going to hang out, we're all going to get high and like all that?
Well, my dad, he's been sober since I was like 8 years old. So
never mind. You know what, Elliot? I shouldn't have brought that part up.
No, sorry. Yeah, that's another part. But yeah, if anybody's even remotely interested in all this, I did a podcast about like an hour-and-a-half podcast about this whole thing called Mental Illness Happy Hour,
right?
Which is a great podcast that Paul Gilmartin hosts. It's amazing,
fascinating to me.
Yeah,
though. I mean, it really is. I hope I'm not being a bummer to you.
No, not at all.
It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm making good radio.
No. I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah. But anyway, I will say that it was awkward when I showed up to meet my dad. My dad he drove down to New York and then we flew to Santa Fe together, and I was expecting my dad to show up and he didn't. Instead, some weird old guy showed up in his place, and that made me feel very uncomfortable because my dad is like a cool guy who's like 42, 43, and instead this 70-year-old weirdo showed up. I don't think I had spent that much time full bore with my dad since probably like late high school, early college.
No kidding.
Where it was just the two of us, in a hotel room. I mean, being in a hotel room with your dad is it's full on. And
does he get your sense of humor?
Oh yeah, he's got a good sense of humor. But he's just, he's an old dude and he's got his CPAP and, he's, and at one point
when you go through security, do you have to take that out?
I think he probably did. I think he put it in his check bag.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
I think he was able to get through the flight without the Darth Vader mask. I get us tickets on the plane, and neither of us is a small guy. He's kind of a big dude, and so I got us like a window and an aisle, hoping that middle seat would be open and we'd have all three together.
Right.
And if there was somebody in the middle seat, well, then I would just say, hey, why don't you take the window and I'll sit in the middle. Well, this woman, we get on the plane and this little woman is just fully set up, and I was like, oh, if you want to take the window, she's like, no, why don't you guys, I'll just sit here. And so she sat in between us, and my dad, I love him, but he just kept talking past her to me, like we were sitting next to each other, like making conversation. This woman's trying to watch a movie, and he keeps like reaching over to, like right across her face to get stuff from me. And I was like, Dad, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling like a dick, because it's like, why am I scolding? He's like, why are you scolding me? I'm like, because you're being rude. And at one point he hands me a note, and I wish I'd brought it with me because it's in my suitcase because I kept it. And he hands me a page of the New Yorker that he's been reading, and on it he has scrawled a note. And this is after I've asked him to stop. Can we not talk like across this woman, please? And so instead he hands me a note, and it says, is the woman to the left of me no, he said, is the person to the left of me a man or a woman? It was this person sitting across the aisle that he just wanted to know the gender of, and it couldn't wait. It had to happen then. And then we get to New Mexico, and of course my dad, he's never had guacamole before. And is horrified by the idea of it. It's like it's green, right? That's what he said. And we go to this Mexican restaurant, and he's from a different era. He's just holding up his soda glass, like shaking ice, like, excuse me. And I'm like, first of all, that's rude. Second of all, that's not our waiter. That's just another brown person who you don't see the difference in. And like, he's a total Democrat liberal, but he's that same guy. It's like, yeah, you're that guy, right? It's like, no, doesn't even. Our waiter has a mustache. This guy's actually a woman.
All right, last thing before I get you out of here. Will you please do your Donald Trump impression for me?
I don't have a Donald Trump impression.
I saw you on TV do a Donald Trump impression.
Where? On what TV show?
Oh, God damn it. Hold on 1 sec. You were on it. Go ahead.
Is there any juice to a Donald Trump impression? I feel like at this point people are born issued a Donald Trump impression. It's like Schwarzenegger. It's like everyone, like, what?
Hold on.
Boy, I don't have any audio, so I remember that was like a public access show I did.
That's all I watch. That's all I watch. The impression's horrible.
Is it? Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's terrible. I can do some impressions, but I can't do.
What can you do? I know you do Morrissey.
Morrissey, that's neat. Yeah, I used to try, and it never worked as a bit, but I used to do like a party that Morrissey, Robert Smith, and Roger Waters had together.
Oh my God!
It didn't work. This is open mic days. I think even then I knew, like, what am I doing? Stop it. Nobody cares.
All right, go see Christian Finnegan at the DC Improv tonight through Sunday. I believe Saturday shows are sold out. The early show on Sunday is sold out. Go to DCimprov.com to check to get your tickets. Dude, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it as always.
Oh, yeah, and if you're going to New York, QEDAstoria.com.
Oh, of course. All right, let me take a quick break. It's Elliot in the morning.
Elliot in the morning.
After that, tickets to go see Walk the Moon and Mr. Wives in concert together at Pier 6 Pavilion, so we'll give you those. All right, Diane, let's get into some news, please.
Following the tweets of a reporter who's stationed outside that Oregon Wildlife Refuge, where the people who were still holed up there were promising that they were going to be giving themselves up sometime today. I thought it was supposed to be at 8 o'clock Eastern, but apparently it hasn't happened yet. The reporter who is on the scene saying that a couple of law enforcement vehicles not too long ago went through a checkpoint, but they said only so many ways to say not much is happening.
Oh, really?
So at this point, I guess they're still aiming for a
But I wouldn't have expected that it would be early. I mean, I don't know. Crap was going on all night with the FBI.
Well, I mean, a lot of people said they spent a good chunk of yesterday evening listening to some of the audio transmissions that they were broadcasting yesterday.
Is he still on the phone? Yeah, he hung up. I'm here. No, the negotiator hung up. He refuses to listen. The negotiator just hung up on him. Did you hear me? Do they know that you're streaming live? Do they know that you're streaming? Yes, we told them that.
Well, a lot of people knew they were streaming live. Yeah. A lot of people were watching.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, it appears that it has not ended just yet. So, they just said it. It's the reporter just tweeted out another post a minute ago saying, "Here's an image you're going to see a lot of all day today," and it's basically just a flag with the road closed.
Right, field. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yesterday, Robert F. Kennedy's killer, Sirhan Sirhan, was denied parole again for the 1968 murder. I think this was the 15th time that he was up for parole, but they said...
I got to be honest, I thought he died.
I did too.
I thought he had died.
So the 71-year-old been serving a life sentence that was commuted from the death penalty when the Supreme Court had briefly outlawed capital punishment back in the early 70s. People who smoke in their cars with kids could be hit with a $100 fine if some new legislation proposed by a House Republican in Virginia becomes the law. The House has given preliminary approval to a bill that would make it illegal to smoke in a car with a child under the age of 8. But again, they said you couldn't be pulled over for smoking in your car with a kid, but you could be assessed a $100 fine if you're pulled over for another reason. So say they get you for speeding.
No, I realize that, but that part seems kind of stupid to me.
Why?
So as long as it's against the law if you're doing something else. And listen, I get like there's sometimes where it's like it's not a primary offense.
Yeah.
But if the whole thing is that they don't want you smoking with young kids in the car, so if you're not speeding and you use your turn signal, you can sit right next to them and just smoke away. But if you're speeding, then you're in trouble for it. Like, that part doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
if the whole law is being enacted to protect the health of a young child, then you ought to be able to pull somebody over if they're just smoking in the car with their kid.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that agree with that. Maybe it's a case of where, because you know how they always run plates.
Don't tell me how to parent.
You know, they're always running plates when people are sitting at a stop sign. Maybe that way they could get people in that way too. If you've got an outstanding, or
of course they can. If it's anything other than that, but if you're a clean driver and you're not breaking any laws, then you know what? Good for you. Your reward for that is that you can just smoke away. But if you've got an outstanding warrant, or you're speeding, or you're driving without a headlight, then it's wrong for you to smoke in front of your kid.
I say this with zero knowledge of the bill,
right,
or law.
Oh, that's okay. That's the same amount of knowledge I have.
Is that the Republican angle, though? Is that how? Because she said it was put forth by a Republican. We're not telling you how to parent, but this could lead to a fine if it's also happening. Is that how you maintain face for your party?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's how. I mean, I won't smoke in the car with the kids in the car at all. And I wouldn't. Sometimes I wish I could, but I won't. But if you're going to say that you can't do it because it's for the health of if you're trying to protect someone else,
right,
then it shouldn't be dependent on whether or not you do something wrong. But I get what you're saying is they don't want to have them come out and go, oh, no. We're telling you that you shouldn't do that.
A freak accident in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana yesterday. One person died, one injured after an ambulance.
I saw that. It fell off the rack.
Yes, fell on top of them at a local mechanic shop. Apparently, the 44-year-old brought to an area hospital where he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The other EMT sustaining minor injuries. The mechanic was not injured in that accident. God, what does that sound like coming down?
I have
heavy
no idea. I have no clue.
Of a vehicle. People are keeping an eye on Ethan Couch now that he has been moved to an adult facility in Fort Worth. And according to all reports, he has been a model prisoner. Apparently, authorities are saying
he can't do anything.
He has been passing time by watching Richard Simmons exercise videos and eating ice cream.
Now, his other option is Jack LaLanne. Mm-hmm. Those are the two options that they have, and that's it. That's all. That's all. There's no TV, so that's all you get.
U.S. Olympic Committee is telling all possible Olympians that they will be hiring a couple of infectious disease specialists to advise athletes who are worried about the Zika virus outbreak in Brazil. Only causes mild symptoms in those who are affected, but there is obviously concern for people who are thinking about becoming pregnant.
Right. Jones just got his Zika virus warning yesterday for his cruise.
Did you apologize?
For what?
Well, he came off a little snide.
Okay, well, if he didn't hear, now's not a good time to ask if I apologize, because then he's going to go, why would he be apologizing?
Whoops.
Probably not a good thing to bring up.
There's Diane stirring it up.
We found out that Andy Dalton got his luggage back. Also, officials at Monumental Sports and Entertainment announcing that Ted Leonsis is close to bringing an Arena Football League team to Washington that would play at the Verizon Center. The Capitals trying to make it 5 in a row tonight as they play the Minnesota Wild. Dion Phaneuf playing his first game with the Senators last night
God, that
against
looked weird.
The Red Wings. Ottawa lost, by the way, in that final score of 3-1. Dennis Weidman's meeting with Gary Bettman and a bunch of other NHL officials yesterday lasted for about 6.5 hours as he appealed his 20-game suspension. They did not announce a decision, and leak sources saying it's probably going to take a couple of days. Wizards.
What the hell can you talk about for 6.5 hours?
That must have been torture.
I mean, unless they're talking about like other stuff going on in the league.
Oh. Hey, did you guys see the...
Hey, it's good that Brooks Orpik's on his way back. Malkin's still hurt. Like, unless you're going around doing news like that. Like, maybe they were talking about, oh, did you see the Dylan Larkin video from when he was a kid?
Did Brooks ever show up in Greece? Wizards on the road tonight to play the Bucks in their final game before the...
866 to Elliot. 866-235-5468. I'm running late. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Tracy.
Tracy, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. I am going to give you a pair of tickets. You're going to go see Walk the Moon in concert with Mr. Wives. That show's going to be on Sunday, July the 24th at Pier 6 Pavilion. So if you hold tight 1 second for me.
Great.
Kaylee needs some info. Oh, you know what? I'm going to let you pick. There's two very bizarre stories from yesterday. And I'll let you pick which one goes first. Do you want story number 1, or I've written it down, story 1 or story 2?
How about story 1?
Story 1. All right, very good. You hold tight 1 second for me, okay?
Great, thank you so much.
Diane, I preface this by saying they're very, they have bad endings.
Well, you said death stories, so.
Yeah. Oh, did I say death?
No.
Oh.
Off air you did.
Oh, yeah. No, they both deal with death. But you know what? The music makes me forget about that.
Anyway.
All right, she wanted story 1 first. You ready? No, I feel bad. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Here we go. Police say...
Well, kill the music. Turn the music off.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you.
Choice of words.
Police say a 72-year-old man apparently suffered a heart attack. Fell off his houseboat.
What boat?
Houseboat. Did I mess that up?
Houseboat.
Fell off his houseboat and drifted into the Halifax River before his bracelet snagged on a crab trap. Trap.
Can we start all over again?
I'll get through it.
This is how you grieve.
There's no right or wrong way. Thank you, Christian.
Heard it here first.
Police say a 72-year-old man apparently suffered a heart attack, fell off his houseboat, drifted into the Halifax River before his bracelet snagged on a crab trap. How does it get any worse? So that's where he ended up getting stuck. Daytona Beach Police Chief Mike Chitwood. Commercial fisherman checking the trap found the man's body. Jesus Christ.
That's miserable.
They're still trying to locate the man's relatives. But they do believe he had been in the water less than 24 hours. What a horrible comedy of errors. Well, I mean, the heart attack wasn't an error.
At least they rescued his cat.
I didn't see that.
He lived with his cat on the houseboat.
Although, you know what? At 72, that's a pretty good life.
I'm sure he loved it.
Living on your houseboat.
Yeah.
And you don't want the heart attack into the... You know what? I'll just move to story number 2. I'll just go to story number 2. Well, I don't want it to be a downer.
It's true.
This one, they're trying to figure out how something like this happens. And like I said, this one also deals with death. A 22-year-old woman who died in a car at Walmart in their parking lot is thought to have been there for months. How the hell does that happen?
In the normal customer parking lot.
Yes.
Now, I know that we've heard of people parking their RVs there. Was she in some sort of motor home?
No, she was not. It was her 2003 Volkswagen Jetta.
So not even a mid-size car.
No. I mean, it's just her regular car. Police recovered her body from her 2003 Volkswagen Jetta, which had been in a Walmart parking lot since the end of last year. Minimum. The county sheriff's commander said he thought that the body had only been in the car a few days before it was discovered on February 3rd. However, the Walmart security footage leads to a conclusion that the girl had been dead in the car for several months. Security footage from the Walmart only goes back to early December, but the video shows Lauren's car there in the same spot as when it was found. And keep in mind, they went back to the earliest date in December that they have footage, and the car's there.
Yeah.
It could have been there the day prior, or it could have been there 6 months prior. They have no idea. How's that possible?
It may play into Walmart's rule that you can literally live there.
Lauren's windows were tinted.
A moment of levity.
Yeah.
And she had a sun protector in her window, making it hard for other people to spot her. By the way, she was there way before December.
If she had bothered to put up that sun thing, the sunshade.
Wouldn't you only have that like in the summer? Or would I have just put that up to try to darken the car?
Maybe.
Like to keep light out if I was going to sleep. No, I'm living in my car.
You can use those all the time. Right now, driving is impossible because of glare.
She's not driving.
No, I'm saying though, but sun doesn't matter the season.
Okay.
You could
all right,
use...
in my mind, that's a summer facility. That's a summer.
I see what you're saying,
because it's used to block the sun to keep the car from getting hot.
Right.
Like you don't use it when you're parked.
Yeah, but some like my front door gets really hot when the sun is shining during the winter. It's all, and I have a lot of brass instruments in my car.
Her car was investigated after a Walmart employee noticed the silver Jetta had been in the same spot for days. So it's just sitting there in the parking lot.
Do you ever think of that? You know, there are certain cars in the parking garage that have been there for forever.
The ones down on P4?
There's a couple on P2 that rarely move, too.
No. On P2?
Yeah. That Porsche?
Wait, the car that you park behind hasn't moved in months? Have you looked in the window? Why not? Afraid of what you might find? Tinted.
Wasn't there was a Porsche that has since moved and has been washed. But before that, it was parked up against one of the back walls. It's like a goldish color, and I think it's got like a burgundy top.
Oh, see, I don't drive all the way over there.
It was parked up against, but
I get in the garage, I pull right in the first spot.
I know, but you would still see it if you looked behind you as you were going into the vestibule to get into the elevators.
No, I feel like the only car I see is
it was parked up
Mar.
against the wall for a few years.
And I see Chili's because it has all the hair coming off the side of the car from her underarms. No, I've not noticed either of those cars. No, I guess I've noticed the Explorer.
Because it stood out to me that the Porsche finally was moved and it had been washed.
Well, why would you just store is it somebody just storing their car?
I don't know.
That's why. That's why you would do it. It's free storage.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a car down on P4 that, although I would just say it's just covered in dust. But I guess if you're just storing it.
Yeah, you move to the city, have a nice car, don't have a space or a garage.
Just leave it here.
You leave it here and
But what
use
a pain in the ass.
Metro.
Anytime you have to go somewhere, you got to schlep out here to get your car and then
But
go
you
drive
don't.
somewhere?
You don't go anywhere. But
No,
you
but
weren't
if
willing to part ways with your car when you moved here.
No, but if you were going to go somewhere on the weekend.
Also use the Metro. Or take the Metro out to the car.
That's a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, it's a lot cheaper
That's
than
true.
paying for
That's
space.
true. That's true. But how does nobody... Okay, but that's a parking garage here. Although, if the story came out that somebody here died in their car... First of all, I'd like to nominate a couple of people. But would it be the same thing? It would be like, oh, well, the car was sitting there for years, and would we all look like jackasses because nobody checked the car? Because my first thought is, how are the people at Walmart not checking that car?
Yeah, but it's different, though, because of...
Why? This is still a place... Well, though, that's a retail place.
Such a public parking lot.
Right. No, that's true.
Obviously, people can come here that aren't just employees, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened here.
That somebody died in their car downstairs?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Not that I think someone's down there dead, but if someone said that, I wouldn't be like, no way. It's still a crazy story to have it happen to you.
No way.
Yeah, but I'm with you. There are some strange cars that are always there. I don't even know what happens on levels that aren't P3 and P2.
Right.
So like when I have to go to P3 because they're doing electrical work or something on P2, it's frightening.
P4 is frightening.
It's like another world.
You get Rosenberg's limo, and then there's like a bunch of weird ass cars down there that just sit there.
Yeah. So that if someone said on P4 there was a body found, it'd be obviously sad and very strange, but at the same time, be like, yeah, I knew that was a weird place.
See,
you know who I wish stored his cars here? Brian Mitchell. Whew, man,
well, he's the one. He's usually got a Bentley, right?
Oh yes, he does.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he does. I rubbed my hand against it once walking to the car, just to say I touched a Bentley.
Do not touch
the whatever. Whatever. I'd love to rub a key up against Kornheiser's car. I'd also like to stand on the hood of it and take a big piss on it. But Mitchell's car I did brush my hand up against. I did not hurt it. I would never hurt a car. Not like that. That car is nice. That car smells of money. Who's got a Porsche down there? Is it B. Mitch?
It's there all the time.
Dude, playing in the NFL
Like, I don't think
pays
it
a ton.
ever leaves.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Do you even know the car that she's talking about?
I don't know the Porsche, no.
I have no idea whose car that is. I've never even seen it.
You know where I always park? Right across from the doors.
Right.
It's off to the left. It's like a goldish color with like a burgundy top.
Never seen it.
And it's definitely a Porsche.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, are you a car guy now?
No. No, but I'm familiar. Because you know what's sweeter than one Corvette beating up on a Porsche?
2 Corvettes passing a Porsche.
Thank you.
Where am I going? Line 4? Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi, Elliot. About 2 years ago, I worked a part-time job delivering pizzas for a Pizza Hut.
Right.
And I never looked into it, but I know that there's a Mustang that's been sitting in that parking lot for at least 2 years.
And you're afraid to go look at it.
I mean, I don't work there anymore, but I definitely didn't at the time because I didn't want to.
Is there like a law or something? Like, for example, if somebody left their car just sitting down in the parking garage, right? Or at a Walmart, except they didn't really leave their car there; they were dead in it. But if somebody just left their car, is there like an amount of time that goes by and then it's just like public domain? You can take it. Seriously,
I don't think so.
Why not? You leave a car sitting there? There's a car. I ask you not. One of the cars down on P4 hasn't probably moved in 5 years. Why can't I take it? It's just sitting there. Nobody's using it. You can't use even though this is private property.
So you put a little thing in the newspaper saying that you're declaring ownership.
No, but like, for example, how long can I leave my car at Walmart?
Remember, we've talked about this. People, and some Walmarts have tried to scale back on the frequency of it. But weeks at a time, we've heard of people setting up shop there.
That's weeks at a time.
Oh, so you're saying how many years?
Months.
Well, in this case...
Well, in this case, it was a lot of months.
At least 3, yeah.
If a car's there for a year, can I take it?
I don't think so.
Why?
I don't know.
Public domain. Public parking lot. Like, I get if somebody's
But
storing the car.
It's not a public parking lot.
No,
Walmart's
it's
a public
owned by a
parking lot.
company.
If you get in an accident in Walmart's parking lot, you can't throw your, hey, you can't mess with me, I'm on private property.
It's going to default to the company, I would think.
I just don't think, at some point, that should be free for the taking. And I get, like, you can't go to somebody's house who's storing a car. I thought I'd be able to wait on the pretzel, but I can't. I love pretzels.
Drunk Justin checking in, working at a funeral home.
Oh, what was he mad at me about yesterday?
Oh, you never got into the charter program.
Right.
Working at a funeral home, I had to try to get a guy to move his car. Couldn't find him. Knocked on the window. He was dead in the car.
Oh, my God.
All these little layers of Justin's life that come out.
Well, I don't know if that's because he worked at a funeral home.
So did the guy drive him knowing he was going to die? Well, you know what? Let me make this easy for Drunk Justin. And he drove to the funeral home?
Yes, it was
How
akin
ironic.
to David Bowie's death.
How ironic, though. You die in the parking lot at a funeral home.
That's not even the one we like. We like the brother that split from the family. And so every town has a funeral home owned by a family where a brother has gone off because there was a disagreement about something.
All right, let me do this. Now I got a budget.
Go downstairs and see if it's a Porsche.
Why are you so convinced that it's not?
Because it would be funny. Well, I'm a Corvette guy. As Tommy Milliner and I are Corvette guys.
Sure.
Ever since last week.
Kaylee, have you seen the Porsche?
I'm assuming it's still there when I leave. It could be obscured by other cars, but it's there every single day when I pull in.
Wait a second.
Okay, Mars' car is there every single day when I pull in.
But I'm assuming that it's
It
there.
won't be there Monday. It's a holiday.
Because it's always...
What? No. But is the car there when you leave?
I honestly don't think I've noticed that much. It just stands out.
Can I ask you this? Is it somebody that gets into work before you
I doubt
leaves
it.
before you leave?
I doubt it.
Oh, my God. That car is here every day. So everybody that comes
Do you
in...
want to go look and see if it's a Porsche?
Everybody that comes in...
No. We're on to something else now.
Everybody that comes in after I get to work must come in every day and go like, oh, my God, that car is there every single day. Yet when I leave at 5 p.m., that car's... I don't even know if it's there or not, but it's here all the time.
I agree.
It's Diane's stalker. That's what it is.
So there's a better than even chance I'm going to go downstairs and it's not there.
No, it'll be there.
And you're sure it's a Porsche?
Yes, positive.
I'm going to walk out and make a left towards the deep end of the
No, you walk out and make a right.
Out of which door? If I make a right, there's two doors when you get out of the elevator.
Okay. Well, do you know where I park? Walk out that door. And then turn right.
That guy
and
knows
then
where
loop
you park.
around.
He follows you in every
He's
day.
probably holding on to my undercarriage.
Now here's my impression. This is my impression of Diane seeing the car of somebody that just happens to get to work 10 minutes earlier. This is Diane when she sees that car.
Not again.
Pretzel in the tube. Hey, Jones. Hey, Jonesy. Yeah. Remind me, I want to talk to you later about the Zika letter you got.
Can't wait.
Diane also needs to apologize.
No, he needs to apologize. He came off as very snarky.
Are you guys thinking about backing out?
No.
So you have no plans on having kids in the next 2 years?
No.
Okay, good to go. All right, I'm
No.
All right, let me tell you. Am I going to go check?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. What does Diane
Do you want me to go
say?
show you?
If it's a Porsche, trust me, I can find it.
All right.
I'll take a picture. Diane pulls into the garage. Somebody pulled in 10 minutes before her, but she sees the car. What does Diane say?
Not again.
All right, let me take a quick break. Hey, Kaylee, will you ask these people to hold? Good. If you're If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. I'll grab you next.
Elliot in the morning.
Hi, Elliot in the morning.
That's me?
Yeah, what's going on, dude?
I was just telling her when I was in my senior year of high school, the blizzard of '93, my car was left in the parking lot there in high school, and the plowman thought it'd be funny to plow the entire parking lot up around my car.
Okay, but that your car was there for an extended amount of time because there was a snowstorm. This chick was...
No, I left it there before the snowstorm, and they plowed it all around it.
Oh, I gotcha. All right, but still, in any case, this woman was at the Walmart. Does Walmart not have... Thank you, sir. Does Walmart not have a... Do they not have somebody who, like, patrols the parking lot?
I mean, but that's the place where people have been allowed to park before. So
Right, no, and I understand that.
To just, like, do like a welfare check on people?
No, but just to... Like, for example, yes, people have been allowed to park there. That's fine. So even if you had somebody that was parked there for a week and a half, if I were the security guy, I would walk around the parking lot, and I would notice, like, oh, this RV's been here for a little bit, but you would also, like, keep track of that in your head.
I don't know. I mean, do all those places have guards that
That's what I'm
monitor
asking.
the parking lots? I mean, sometimes you see, like, there's cameras posted or
there is,
signs.
but they only go back to the early part of December, so they don't know. But wouldn't you, like, if you're Walmart, wouldn't you have somebody whose job it is to kind of... Don't they go and grab carts? You could pull that crap off at a Wegmans.
Those aren't security people. Those are people that work at the store.
Okay, but if I were going out and getting carts, if I was one of the helping hands people at Wegmans, which is all I want my kids to do when they get older... I feel like one of those guys would be like, hey, hadn't that Jetta been there for a couple of days?
Here's a tweet from Caro. I grew up where the car was found shared parking lot for several businesses.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you're putting the responsibility on the one business to notice something.
I'll put it on any of them.
Yeah, but then at that point, it's like tragedy of the commons. Like, we all share this parking lot. I'm not going to go do a welfare check on a car.
Like, the only thing that I can think of, like, over by me, there is a, there's like a Target and a PetSmart that are side by side. And they kind of have the same parking lot, but if I'm going to the Target, I park in front of the Target. If I'm going to the PetSmart, I park in front of the PetSmart. So, like, you can kind of tell who's parking where. Now, I may hit both, but you're in front of one or the other. It's not like you would be blind and not be able to see it. Like, that still doesn't make any sense. So, it may be shared by a bunch of people, but was it closer to the Walmart? Was it closer to whatever else it shares?
I can see both sides.
But I would also expect the car... By the way, we're treating this like the car's been there for 3 days. The car's been there for 3 months. And it's never moved. And it's not like somebody's parking at their office building. In 3 months, by the way, it's a minimum. It could have been longer than that. You have no idea how long that car's been there. They just know to go back from the beginning day of how far that will go back. And the car is there. But if you don't see any movement or any activity with the car, doesn't that ring a bell?
As Diane pointed out, and I did last segment, it's common in Walmart.
No, it's not common for months.
Yes, it is.
Maybe for a RV, but not for a standard car.
You hear
to
about
be
plenty
there
of people
for
who
3, 4, 5 months.
live in their cars.
You can't discriminate based on the car.
I do.
I guess maybe you can. Walmart may actually have a rule against cars, but who knows?
I'm just saying, if there's a car parked in my parking lot for 5 months, I'm damn sure checking to see what it is. And by the way, if your policy is that you can live there, that's fine. But I would want to make sure that someone's living there and not hasn't just died there.
I mean, maybe the store owners think like that's somebody else's responsibility. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure somebody's walked past there and checked it out. Manager of the store, you're not necessarily concerned with that.
And can I ask one other question? Doesn't it smell?
You're outside where there's like wind.
Yeah, but like they talk about like people who die in a house that you can't even like get on the same street without smelling that. I mean, if I'm dead for 3 months, when you smell me after a while,
You would think.
Clearly, all this stuff that you think would happen doesn't happen because it didn't in this case.
Yeah, but these people are also irresponsible.
With the customers?
You
think customer Tyler is going to take a look at a car that looks shady? I'm not even going to the store.
Not that you would look at the car, but if you park next to it and you smelled that?
If there was a car with tinted windows and a sun shade up, I wouldn't park next to it.
Oh, don't go to that Target or PetSmart by me. Yeah. I don't understand how that happens. That's all. If I were a manager at Walmart, listen, I get if you're a schlep employee and you probably hate your boss anyway, they treat you like crap. You got to do that stupid goddamn cheer every day. I get it. But if you were a manager and you see the same car every day, you're checking. Line 6. Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
Morning, Elliot. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
I lived in Sterling, the Dulles Town Center. There's a Walmart there. There's a lady that's living in her Pontiac Grand Am. I'm about to drive by there and check on her.
You should.
See?
You should. How long?
Yeah.
How long has she been there?
I guarantee you at least 3 months.
No kidding.
Because it was back in the summer I first noticed it.
But do people see, like, activity?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her moving around in there, but you can tell the car's been sitting there forever because there's water frozen in the exhaust. It's like icicles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it was like when we had the guys, well, we've had 2 employees that have worked at the radio station who lived in their cars in the parking garage. But we knew that there was activity. Like, we knew that
you could see them walking around the studio.
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But if you saw that car every day and there was no activity and it was just sitting there, wouldn't you look?
Well, it was
Although I say that, I haven't looked at the one on P4, so no, you wouldn't.
I mean,
Not my problem.
In so many ways, it was obvious with them because their cars were loaded with crap.
You don't think the woman living in her Pontiac for 3 months that her car isn't loaded with crap?
We don't.
She needs clothes.
Okay, but I'm saying the woman at the Walmart, you don't know what she had with her.
God, remember the dude from MZQ? Had
Remember,
all those goddamn
and his, like,
jerseys.
jerseys.
Oh, but he hung them up. He was so proud of them.
That was worth the money. Get an apartment.
It's winter. The cold would act like a freezer and keep the body from decomposing. You know what? That's a fair point.
But where was this
What
parking
state?
lot?
Okay, hold on. Well, it's still, no matter where it was, it's colder in the winter than it is in the summer.
That's not true in terms of keeping it like
true.
keeping it like a freezer.
May not be that warm. Hold on, does it say? Hold on. Monterey County. Is that
California?
That's where I'm guessing.
So that
It's cold
that
there.
theory doesn't.
What? Monterey in December is chilly. Chilly. It's not cold.
Like what, 60s?
Yeah.
I saw the Super Bowl over the weekend.
They said game time temperature was like 73 degrees.
Oh, so no, it's not that cold. It's not that cold. Monterey's right on the water, as is San. Never mind. All right, yeah, so you know what? That's a stupid theory then. What's the temperature in Monterey right now?
Oh my God, where is it? I got a map.
The
high today is 65.
Oh, that's not keeping a body fresh.
Mm-hmm.
No, ma'am. As a matter of fact, it's making it gummy. It's going to stink.
It's going to be 74 on Monday.
Oh, no kidding. Not here.
Monterey's so nice.
Line 8. Oh, there's a famous, what is the famous restaurant? Captain something or other?
In Monterey?
Yeah. Yeah, damn it. Captain. And it is CAPN. Captain.
It sounds fancy.
I can't remember it. No, what you call it? Kreider knows somebody whose parents go there every night for like key lime pie. Hi, Elliot in the morning. Hello.
Hey, is this me?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
This is Kathy from Richmond.
Hi, Kathy from Richmond. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to let y'all know, a couple of years ago, there was this car in the Walmart parking lot that I live near. It was there for at least 3 years. The the windows were boarded with cardboard, and it never moved. He never saw like tow trucks around it trying to take it out. And every now and then you'd see something moving, kind of. It was like an Explorer or something, and you would see something moving in the trunk area, and no one checked it out.
Did anybody did you ever say anything to anybody? No.
Yeah, no, actually there was one time I thought it might be like a dog or something, so we kind of circled around it. I didn't want to go in and peek through if it was like a person, so we drove around it for a little while to try and see what it was, but nothing really came of it, so it just kind of sat there.
Yeah, I'm taking the car on P4 tomorrow. I'll go take that Porsche. If that Porsche's just sitting there, I'm taking that. It sat there long enough.
It stayed there for 3 years at least.
Although it does leave about 10 minutes before Diane leaves.
No.
Hi, Elliot, in the morning. Hello? Hello? All right, hold tight.
Elliot.
Oh, yeah, wait, hold on one second. I'm just getting an email. What is the forecast for Daytona Saturday night while you're looking at weather?
Sunny and 63.
I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Hello?
Hey, so I was actually stationed out in Monterey, and I've been to that Walmart, and that parking lot is really busy on the weekends.
Okay, that's on the weekends. How about at 2:30 in the morning on a Wednesday?
Well, there's a bunch of stores out there, and it's a 24-hour Walmart. So, I mean, I've been over there pretty early in the morning just with some buddies, and I can see how you could miss a car for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, and also I was reading online that they were saying it was a suicide.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I have no idea. I just know that she died in the car.
But, yeah, just for one car to go unnoticed, I mean, that's a big area, and there's a lot of shops over there. So, and there's also a lot of panhandlers that live over there.
I don't know. Maybe I'm more observant than most people.
So, I mean,
I know
maybe,
I
but
am.
you got to. A Walmart employee's not getting paid to look for cars. So,
No, I'm not getting paid to look for cars either. But I do a lot of things that I'm not getting paid to do.
Here we go.
That's true.
No, we all do.
Is he leaning against the console?
What's this list? Let's hear it.
I mean, you know, I would notice something like that in where I work at, just being in the Army and stuff like that. But
Yeah, no, that's me. I'm very observant. Like, I like to know what's going on with the world around me.
Remember, you are
thank
or could be a perfect candidate to be a special agent.
Oh, 100%.
But I'd like to get back to this list.
I'm trying to think right now.
You can't come up with one thing, but you have a list, but you can't come up with one
I
entry on it.
maintain the printers. I mean, in terms of making sure there's paper in them.
Okay.
I'm not in charge of any of the...
Don't talk to me about toner, but
no,
you know.
I'm not given access to the toner. We all do things that
There you go. Etc.
I can't think of anything I do.
Even like paid for stuff.
Oh my God. Did you just crap your pants?
I don't get paid for that.
Did you hear that? Haley. Yeah, okay.
All right.
That was
All right.
sounded like a sound effect.
I don't think anybody heard that until you pointed it out.
It was like your butt was sighing.
Oh, once every 5 minutes.
See, it's cold here and it's not helping us avoid that smell.
All right, let me do this. Let me take a break. We'll come back. I apologize to all these. Oh, wait, can I go to line 8? Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
Hey, I used to live in Monterey. I heard the other guy talking about it too. But I was wondering, were you talking about Fisherman's Grotto when you were talking about the restaurant that somebody's parents went to?
Is there a cat in something?
No, it's called, well, we used to call it Grottos, but it's actually the Fisherman's Grotto, and it's down on the wharf.
You know what? Grottos may be it. Do they have key lime pie?
They do, and everybody goes there for their clam chowder and the sourdough bread bowl. It's like the greatest thing ever.
Oh, you know what? You know what? You're absolutely right. If I have this right, Kreider's friends' parents, they eat at 2 restaurants every night. They go one place for an appetizer and
Every
another,
night?
They're old and dying. They go
And
one
rich.
place. They go one place for an appetizer, and then they go one place for a dessert. And I think you're right. I think Grotto's is the place they go for the clam chowder in a bowl.
Oh, Oh my God,
Bread Bowl.
it's the most amazing thing ever.
And isn't there's a famous racetrack in Monterey?
Yeah, they don't, like, they do weird races, like foreign cars and,
Yeah, it's like Grand Prix racing.
motorcycles.
What is it? Laguna Seca.
Laguna Seca, yeah.
Seca, sorry, yeah, the locals say it that way. Seca. The Jesus. What is the key lime pie joint?
Grottos.
I thought that was the clam chowder joint.
But they do key lime pie, too.
You know what? Maybe Kreider's friends don't leave. Maybe they just do an appetizer and a dessert.
Tyler got the menu up.
It doesn't matter. All right. You know what? Kreider will tell me tomorrow.
I'm told their desserts are divine.
Well, I mean, it's hard to get a bad restaurant in Monterey because it's very touristy, so...
Oh, is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Because of the racetrack?
No, I think just because, well, you have Pebble Beach is not that far away. You have Carmel.
Hard Rock.
A lot of older people like it because it never really gets above 72 degrees.
Right.
Like when you were talking about the weather and you're like, what is the weather? I'm thinking it's probably 68 because it was 68 every day.
Oh, if it was only 1 degree more. Hey, where is the Pebble Beach is the golf place, right?
Yeah.
Got it. All right, very good. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
No, Top Golf is the golf place. Pebble Beach is a world famous
No,
course.
is Pebble Beach the one with like the famous tree?
No, you're thinking of the Eisenhower tree or whatever it was at the Masters?
No, the governor is down in Florida. Remember, it was 3 miles from engineer Dan's apartment, but he wouldn't drive by it. Isn't there a famous tree there?
Well, there is.
Thank you.
But you're not thinking of like Torrey Pines because of the name, right?
I don't know.
But there is. You're talking about the Pebble Beach, obviously, is around the water.
Yeah, but isn't there a famous tree?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know the name of it.
I don't either.
Yeah, but there's a famous tree there, right? No?
The Eisenhower tree.
Where's that?
The Masters.
Right, I'm not talking about the Masters. I'm talking about
But
Torrey
I didn't know
Pines.
if you were confusing golf courses.
What am I talking about? I'm talking about Pebble Beach.
Yeah, no, it's the 18th.
But what's the tree? It just stands out there on its own, right?
Or the 17th hole. But this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's Pebble Beach.
Thank you. That's in Monterey. I
Or
know
the
my
6th.
Monterey.
It might be the 6th hole.
It doesn't matter. It's between the first and second, isn't it? Stupid old joke. All right, let me take a quick break. Diane's got dirt next.
Elliot in the morning.
All right. Before we get into dirt, thank you very much to Lost Rhino Retreat for coming in today. 22885 Brambleton Plaza in Ashburn. One of Loudoun County's first craft breweries. They are affiliated with Lost Rhino Brewing, which is also in Ashburn, I should say. Lost Rhino Retreat opens 7 days a week. Full-service restaurant specializing in locally sourced meat, cheese, and produce. So thank you very much for them. Lost Rhino Retreat features 16 taps, 12 of which are Lost Rhino beers. 3 feature guest taps from other local breweries, and Potter Cider from Charlottesville. Very good. So thank you guys very much for coming in. All right, Diane, let's get into some dirt, please.
A little more info on the Polly Perrette story, the actress from...
We don't lead with the Bruce story?
Well, I mean, sure.
I mean, it's the second time Polly Perrette's been attacked. It's his first book.
When is the book out?
September 27th, I got a text. It's 229 days away.
Oh, my God.
It's called Born to Run, autobiography.
Yes, it's his first book.
Polly Perrette.
He's done children's book. It's not. It's. Okay.
It's his life story.
Yes.
It's his autobiography.
229 days.
Polly Perrette.
Will you count that down every day starting tomorrow?
Never mind.
If the person texts me again.
What are you pissy about?
Go ahead.
Oh, Polly Perrette got attacked. Go ahead.
A little more information about it. So she's sitting at a light. She keeps ones in her glove box.
Why?
To give to homeless people.
Okay.
And like we said, she got attacked by somebody on the street 3 months ago, and I guess she felt more safe because she was in her vehicle, and she said there's a guy, standing on the median, and she reaches over and was ready to give him $1. He comes to the window, and she said, I said, God bless you. He grabbed my wrist, put his whole head inside my car, held my arm, and then looked at me and said, what time is it?
Jesus Christ.
She said, he was in my car. I was scared. I looked at my dashboard and first said, I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus Christ. And then I said, it's 5:37. She said, by the way, that she does have a tactical knife and a taser in her car. But I guess she said
that would have been the opportune time to use them.
Her first reaction or her first
I go right for my cargo shorts.
Well, she says she's learning.
That's why
she
you
said,
always carry a knife.
I didn't arm myself, but I am learning.
Have one on me right now.
Democratic debate is on PBS tonight. That is 9 o'clock Eastern. More American Idol tonight. We're going to see a lot of old faces pop up. People like Fantasia and Ruben Studdard and Caleb Johnson, Scotty McCreery. Inside the Actors Studio, The Walking Dead on Bravo. This is a bunch of the main characters. Stephen Yeun, Lauren Cohen, Norman Reedus are going to be on to talk about the show before it returns this coming Sunday. Grey's Anatomy is back for its mid-season return. Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, all back tonight. Duncan Jones, the director, saluting his dad, the late David Bowie, by announcing that he and his wife are expecting a baby.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Netflix also releasing a new trailer for the 4th season of House of Cards. It's going to be coming out on March the 4th. FYI, channel ordering more Cocktails with Chloe. I guess even though it wasn't setting the world on fire, maybe there's going to be some sort of Lamar Odom connection that'll be brought in.
Did he just take a plane ride or something with them?
I guess the first time we're going to see him in public will be at a fashion show for Kanye.
Right.
So I guess he and Chloe were flying private together. There's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's going to be coming out in 2018. Aaron Sorkin.
Oh, you got it twice today.
Well, that actually said Sega for.
The what would you say the last time?
The racetrack.
Oh, Laguna Seca, right.
Aaron Sorkin adapting To Kill a Mockingbird for Broadway. That'll probably be out sometime during the 2017-2018 Broadway season. Back to David Bowie. We knew they were going to be doing a tribute to him at the Grammy Awards, but now they're also going to be doing one for Glenn Frey.
Right.
So a bunch of the old Eagles, along with Jackson Brown, are going to get together to honor him.
Are they doing anything for Jefferson Airplane? I mean, you lost Cantor and the original singer from Jefferson Airplane.
I mean, they haven't talked about anything on this scale, like what they're doing for David Bowie and Glenn Frey. I mean, they always do like one of those in memoriam things.
I know.
Maybe like a pre-show ceremony. Like Chris Adler.
That's right.
If he were attending, could see the tribute.
No, that's fine. I mean, I hate that they're both getting one, but that's fine.
You don't think Glenn Frey deserves one?
I don't put Glenn Frey up there with David Bowie.
It looks like The Rock is going to be doing some full frontal nudity on Ballers, that evidenced by the nudity waiver that he put out on his Instagram. Julianne Hough talking about her relationship with Brooks Lake in the upcoming edition of Red Book magazine.
By the way, did you see is it the cover picture where she's like got that dress on and her legs bent up? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Holy hell.
Well, no, the cover is actually her with one of their little doggies.
Oh, no, that's not the one I like.
You talking about that one?
No, not the one where she's jumping in the air. That one?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, in the pretty floral dress?
Yeah.
She says it's, like, I'm so in control so often with my career and being how busy I am, but she said she kind of likes to let Brooks take the lead.
That's how I landed him.
When it comes...
I let Brooks, he's the man.
When it comes to their relationship. DMX said to be doing just fine after almost dying in that Ramada Inn parking lot.
He's not even canceling a show.
No, he's going to be playing in Pennsylvania this weekend. And by the way, his manager is saying, not heroin overdose. I think that was an asthma attack.
But we talked about that yesterday. They treated him with what you give somebody who has a heroin overdose.
They said, and if the cops hadn't acted as quickly as they did, everybody's like, that guy would have been dead.
By the way, are you going to mention the big endorsement that Donald Trump got?
Which one is this?
Teresa Giudice.
Is it an endorsement when she says
that
I think he could be president?
No, would be a great president.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
that's
she
an
did
endorsement.
Celebrity Apprentice. Of course she's gonna.
Just saying. That's a big endorsement.
She's working on her...
That gets the Diane crowd.
She's working on... No, I don't think so.
As goes Teresa.
And Juicy
so goes.
Joe. Did I get his name right?
Yeah, I don't know. So
Juicy
goes
Joe.
Diane.
Yes. Yeah, he likes sex.
Yep.
But that gets me back to John Kasich though. So he was. What is the story on him? He was at a Grateful Dead show at RFK.
That's correct. It was 1991.
And he got a pass from Dwight Yoakam,
who opened.
Who was the opener.
Because he. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
part of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the opener for the Dead. So he had a pass from Dwight Yoakam. So they would say that, I don't know if you're aware, but Kasich worked in Washington. He's mentioned it before. That he loved going to, he loves music. Loves music. So he would go to shows all the time. So they would talk about, like, he'd finish up doing something on Capitol Hill, and he would go to shows. So he was at a Grateful Dead show, so he had a pass for Dwight Yoakam, and then he wanted to stay on stage and watch the Dead. And like, somebody from the Dead came by and were like, dude, you got to get out. You can't stay here. And he's like, pardon me, do you know who I am? I'm like, we don't give an F who you are. You got to get off stage. And then he said that at some point he threatened that if he was going to be removed, he single-handedly would prevent the Grateful Dead from ever playing in D.C. ever again. And then he got off the stage.
Right.
He was moved off the stage. But he goes on. He talks about his no joke that he wants to get Pink Floyd back together again.
Right.
Loves Pink Floyd.
And would you say Imagine Dragons?
He likes Money better than Comfortably Numb.
Well, Money's a song he would say they'd play at the reunion.
Right.
But he
loves Imagine Dragons.
Loves Metallica, Linkin Park, and he envies the life of Enrique Iglesias.
That was the weird part to me.
His campaign song is Bailamos.
Is it really? I had no idea.
That's not true. But the Enrique part is true.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. I did see that. I get it, though. Enrique's got a great life. He's banging what's her name?
Anna Kournikova.
Yeah, he travels all over the place.
We think they got married, remember?
Whatever. He's still banging her. Well, not if they're married. But he travels all over the place. Good-looking guy. Good for him.
And Maroon 5. Don't forget that.
Oh, that's right. He does like Maroon 5.
He said he went to a concert, and it was, quote, really, really, really good.
Adele and her boyfriend out spotted double dating with Robbie Williams and his wife in Los Angeles. Oprah is going to be auctioning off.
Is Robbie Williams' wife like a model?
I mean, she's very attractive.
Yeah, no, I would expect that.
Oprah's going to be auctioning off a lot of stuff. The host actually had in her Harpo Studios closet in Chicago. I guess she's trying to go lean and mean, get rid of a bunch of stuff as she's moved all of her operations to the West Coast. There's going to be a big eBay auction, which launches on March the 1st. LaShawn McCoy.
Wait, so why is she? I don't understand why she get rid of everything.
Because she also feels like it's not so much about the stuff. God knows she has enough stuff of everything, and I think she kind of feels like
so it's not
having
like
all
a
this
weight
extra.
Loss thing.
Having all this extra stuff is just kind of like weighing her down.
Hey, who are we talking about the other day that's just goddamn ballooned? Oh, Christie.
Chris Christie.
Yeah.
No, that's not. No, our point was how much.
No, because he had the
debates,
surgery.
how much the debates have benefited or had benefited him in terms of his appearance, because you don't see his profile.
Right, but he had the surgery.
He did, yeah.
Whoa, that's gone.
No, he was so much larger than he is now.
No way. No, he wasn't bigger than he is
no,
now.
that's the whole joke, is that he was able to beat weight loss surgery.
He's
lost weight, but he hasn't lost as much as you would think he would have having the surgery.
When we saw the profile picture of him, that's smaller than he was?
Absolutely.
No way.
Yes. Go back to the pictures where he was walking around post-hurricane with Obama.
Right.
And you see him then.
Dude, when we saw
Remember how they said the hoodie was fused to his skin? It was so damn tight? No, but think about back then. He was considerably larger. Look at that.
I feel like that's exactly how he is now.
Nah.
No. He's lost weight. No question.
But remember, we saw him. And you're right. We were talking about how the podium. Okay, that's big, Barrett. That's big. That's big.
What's he doing?
That's big. All right. You know what? You're right. He hasn't put it all. He's put a lot back on, though.
No, he's lost weight, but he's still a large person.
Oh, he's huge.
Oh, and Dale Jr. Dale Jr. thanking Junior Nation and all fans of Whiskey River for voting Whiskey River the best airport bar in the country. Thank y'all.
Right on. Good deal. All right, very good. Thank you very much, Diane. One quick break. We'll wrap everything up next.
Elliot.